Have you ever lain awake at night, tormented by a voice that insists you're not enough, replaying every flaw until dawn? What if that relentless self-judgment isn't a sign of your brokenness, but a misunderstood habit born from fear and illusion? Tonight, discover how ancient Buddhist wisdom can silence the critic within, guiding you to a profound peace where you finally rest as you are whole, free, and unapologetically enough. Unveiling the roots of self-judgment, the illusion of brokenness, and the prison of perfection. The belief that self-worth stems from perfection is a pervasive lie that traps countless individuals in a cycle of endless self-doubt and shame. As the transcript reveals, society and early conditioning teach us that we must fix every flaw, achieve flawlessness, and always get it right to be valuable. Yet, despite our efforts, the feeling of inadequacy persists, thoughts racing at night, repeating doubts, making solitude painful. This isn't because we are inherently broken. Rather, self-judgment arises from the conviction that we shouldn't be flawed at all. This belief forms the real prison, one constructed in the mind, where we cling to an idealized self that demands constant improvement. The ancient Buddhist teachings, as echoed in the audio, remind us that suffering begins in the mind through illusions of a fixed, perfect self. Liberation, then, doesn't come from becoming better or healing faster, but from releasing the voice that insists we must be more than we already are. By letting go of who we think we should be, we encounter the peace of who we are, calm, whole, and already enough. This illusion of brokenness often originates in early life experiences, where praise and rejection shape our self-perception. Approval feels like safety, while disapproval evokes exile and shame. These sensations, tension in the chest, heat in the face, tightness in the gut, become signals that something is wrong, recorded by the mind as a map of what to avoid, fix, or hide. Over time, this map evolves into an inner guide whispering warnings. Don't speak too loudly, they'll dislike it. Don't try that, you'll embarrass yourself. Don't rest, you haven't earned it. These thoughts, born from fear of not belonging, align with Buddhist concepts of clinging, grasping for control, safety, and certainty, even if it means holding on to a harsh internal voice. This voice pretends to protect, but never brings peace. It is a manifestation of dukkha, the unease and suffering from attachment. It categorizes the self into good and bad, worthy and unworthy, perpetuating division and illusion. In Buddhist philosophy, the self is not fixed, but empty of inherent nature, a collection of conditions like thoughts, sensations, memories, and habits that arise and pass. When the inner critic declares you are not enough, it clings to a false identity, a bundle of memories mistaken for permanence. Believing this voice intensifies suffering, not because it's true, but because we grasp it personally, defending against or collapsing under it. The practice shifts not to changing the voice, but to seeing it, noticing its tone, timing, and texture. When does it emerge? What does it fear? What does it control? Mindfulness allows it to be observed without resistance, robbing it of power as we stop feeding it with belief. Thoughts require energy to persist. Awareness, like vast space, does not cling or judge, it simply permits. In this allowing, patterns become evident. The voice surges in vulnerability, exposure, or uncertainty, attempting to fix discomfort by highlighting flaws. But discomfort doesn't need fixing, it needs compassion. Compassion, as taught by the Buddha, recognizes suffering's presence and meets it with tenderness, not pity. Averting suffering doubles it. Mindfulness fosters peace. When the critic says you failed again, pause and acknowledge, suffering is here. This gentle recognition avoids drama or resistance, embodying wise seeing that views thoughts as transient clouds in a sky. That sky represents our true nature, spacious, unbound, undefined by any thought or feeling. Deepening this practice ends the rush to self-fix. Worth no longer ties to perfection. Equanimity emerges, a balanced calm from non-clinging to praise or blame. This isn't indifference, but warm clarity, seeing things as they are without demanding change. Here, the critic softens. It may arise, but it no longer hooks. Hearing you should have done more, breathe, smile, observe it passes, forming a new habit rooted in presence, not fear. Presence unveils that we are not broken, behind, or lesser. These stem from comparison, another clinging form to status, image, identity, all impermanent, arising and fading. This truth frees rather than frightens. No label defines us, not failures, doubts, or unworthiness. They are wind, passing. What endures is awareness, presence, capacity to love amid mind's noise. Non-identification is key, not denying experience but not mistaking it for identity. The critic labels lazy, but mindfulness notes a thought about laziness arises. The critic says failure, but mindfulness observes judgment is here. This subtle shift traps no more. It liberates. Freedom demands patience. Returning to the present, where the critic forms in past and speculates in future, but unravels in now. Clarity dissolves confusion like light erases shadow. The Buddha taught no self, not as negation but liberation. We are not fixed stories, roles, or thoughts. This spaciousness opens kindness. Choices stem from love, not fear. Striving persists, but not to prove worth. Growth unfolds naturally, like a flower toward light. Not for impression, but innate purpose. Stumbling revives the voice, but meet it with a gentle bow. Here you are again. I see you, and I won't abandon myself. Transformation lies in spacing around the critic, a soft awareness field holding without control. No war with mind, no escape from discomfort. Presence and stillness prevail. Deeper quiet reveals truth. You are already free. Tonight, rest in that. Releasing not enough, inhaling kindness, exhaling tension, allowing all as is. Nothing needs fixing, only understanding, holding, loving. This ends judgment, begins peace. As the voice softens, a lingering shape emerges, not harsh, but quiet pressure. Be good, do better, don't disappoint. This stems from misunderstood praise, turning warmth into expectation. Praise felt like love, but became a contract. Be perfect, or lose connection. Buddhist teachings warn clinging to identity causes suffering. Believing worth requires a role traps in illusion. Early praise locks this, creating a scorekeeper monitoring moves, fearing misunderstanding, surviving by pleasing. Mistakes threaten belonging. Disagreement risks love. This splits the self. Public face, hidden ache. Attachment to forms smiling through sadness, achieving amid emptiness ignores inner experience, fostering chronic judgment from fear of not being good enough. Standards shift, keeping alert, adjusting, contorting, skilled in reading rooms, but forgetting self. This is trauma. Not knowing worth remains when simply you. It creates endless standards, turning growth into proof. Even virtue attaches, wanting perception as pure. Awakened heart concerns freedom, not image. Releasing good kid identity restores spontaneity, honesty, softness. Honest reflection without improvement, sitting quietly, witnessing thoughts, allowing anger without guilt, leads to peace, not in being good, but free from needing to. Paradoxically, freedom opens heart beyond perfection. Notice praises control. Compliments bring anxiety, joy from moment or perception. Inquiry observes, bringing choice. Thank protective voice, but choose honesty over approval. Reflect origins. Who praised what? For being or doing. Safe being messy. Insights break samskaras, habitual imprints. Pausing interrupts. Unconditional friendliness emerges, not liking all, but not turning away. When short, stay, shame, hold, prove, breathe. Return to presence. Awareness sees, allows, includes. Life shifts. Identity softens. Rest without undone tasks. Sincerity over strategy. Doing from wisdom. Knowing striving isn't wholeness. You are presence itself. Unhook outcomes. Praise doesn't define. Disappointment doesn't destroy. Doing flows from joy, not fear. Nervous system trusts. Rest, no rejection. Imperfection, no isolation. Love, independent of roles. Mirror shows present one. Here, real, enough. Pattern loses power, held by truth, not effort. Worth never measured by goodness. Praise shapes path, not essence. Who you are without trying is free. Live for quiet joy of being. The protective origins of the inner critic. The inner critic, that relentless voice dissecting our every action, often feels like an inherent enemy, but its origins reveal a more compassionate truth. It began as a protector, a survival mechanism forged in the fires of early vulnerability. As the transcript elucidates, we've tried silencing, ignoring, or fighting this voice, yet it persists quiet in busyness, loud in stillness, measuring worth against an unagreed scale. The reason it endures isn't malice, but its root in protection. Judgment didn't start as punishment, but as a way to navigate a world where approval equaled safety. In Buddhist teachings, suffering originates in the mind, and so does liberation. What we cling to, identify with, or mistake as self creates restlessness. The inner critic isn't an adversary but a confused mind seeking security in misunderstanding. Early life shapes this. Praise and rejection mold self-view, with approval signaling belonging and disapproval evoking exile. Before words like shame existed, its sting was felt through bodily sensations, chest tension, facial heat, gut tightness, alerting the mind to danger. These signals become etched as memories, not just recollections but a survival map. Avoid failure, hide flaws, fix what's wrong. The mind, vigilant and protective, records scoldings, laughter or frowns, whispering rules to prevent recurrence. Don't speak loudly. they'll dislike it. Don't try, you'll embarrass. Don't rest, unearned. Born from fear of isolation, this aligns with Buddhism's view of fear as deep clinging to control, safety, certainty, even if through a harsh, familiar voice. It offers rules, pretending protection, but yields no peace. This is dukkha, suffering from grasping, categorizing self into worthy, unworthy, good, bad, spiritual, broken. Yet, the self per Buddha is unfixed, empty of inherent essence, conditions arising, passing, thoughts, sensations, memories, habits. The critic's not enough clings to false identity, a memory bundle mistaken for permanence. Believing it amplifies suffering via personal grasping, defending, or collapsing, though unnecessary. Practice shifts to seeing the voice. Notice tone, timing, texture. When arises, what fears, controls. Mindfulness observes without resistance. Awareness diminishes power by withholding belief. Energy. Thoughts need fuel. Awareness as space neither clings nor judges, allows. Shift reveals patterns. Voice surges in exposure, uncertainty, vulnerability, fixing discomfort via flaw, pointing. But discomfort needs no fixed compassion, not pity, but recognizing suffering, meeting tenderly. Buddha taught aversion doubles suffering. Mindfulness breeds peace. Hearing failed again, pause. Suffering here. Gentle acknowledgement, no drama, resistance. This wise seeing pierces illusion, views thoughts as passing sounds, clouds in vast sky. That sky, true nature, spacious, unbound, undefined by thought, feeling. Deepening yields no rush to fix, worth untied from perfection. Equanimity arises, calm balance from non-clinging to praise, blame. Not cold indifference but warm clarity, seeing as is without change demand. Space softens critic, arises but unhooks. Should have done more, breathe, smile, see, pass. New habit, presence over fear. Presence shows unbroken, not behind. Less these from comparison, clinging to impermanent status, image, identity. Truth frees, nothing lasts, no label defines, not failures, doubts, unworthiness. Wind, passing, remains, awareness, presence, love, capacity amid noise. Non-identification, not deny experience, but not mistake for identity. Critic, lazy mindfulness, laziness thought arising. Critic, failure, mindfulness, judgment here. Subtle shift, traps to freeze. Freedom needs patience, present, returning. Critic formed past, speculates future, now sees clearly, unravels via clarity, dissolving confusion, light shadowing. Buddha taught no self, liberation, not negation. Unfixed stories, roles, thoughts, spaciousness kind, meaningful, choices from love, not fear. Strive sands worth proof, grow innate unfolding, flower light, reaching, not impress but nature. Stumble, voice returns gentle bow, here again. See you, no self-abandon, transformation, space around critic, soft awareness holding sans control. No mind, war, discomfort, escape, presence, stillness. Stillness hears deeper, not critic, praise, quiet truth you already free. rest therein, release not enough, kindness in, tension out, allow as is. Nothing fix, understand, hold, love. Judgment ends, peace begins, voice softens, passing breeze in awareness, field, seeing critic as fear, rooted survival, stillness, step, yet lingers, quiet shape, not harsh, whisper, good, better, disappoint, pressure from approval, praise, prison, own, felt warm, smile, word, seen, well done, noticed, encouraged, rewarded like love. Soon, heavier expectation, not joy, pressure. Nervous system connects. Loved via good, always. Pattern hides. Discipline, motivation underneath fragile contract. Perfect or lose connection. Impressive or invisible. Agreeable or unsafe. Shaped, study harder, write things, anticipate needs, praise deepened conditioning, good one, identity roots, Buddhism, identity, clinging deep suffering, believe worthy via role, trapped illusion, self-story, concept, moments maintain image, early praise locks, internal scorekeeper, monitors moves, tones, expressions, not self-obsessed, trained pleasing, survive, child, good, path safety, deviation, dangerous, mistake, threat belonging, disagree, risk, love, shaped mind, help, sans, ask, smile, pain, hold tears too much, dharma, attachment, form suffering, mistake, temporary, true, smile hides sadness, achievement masks, emptiness, outer praised, inner ignored, self splits, public face, hidden ache, notice, panic short, fall, guilt, rest, tension, disappoint, echoes, praise, teaching, value, performance, conditional love, conditional self, loved because good, keep good safe, good, undefined changes, mood, culture, moment, alert, scan, adjust, contort, room reading, skilled, self-reading, forgot, not moral failure, trauma, worth unsure when simply you, chronic judgment, fear not good enough, always higher standard, new goal, more helpful, spiritual, kind, growth, prove worth, healing, performance, practice, virtue, attachment, trap, seen right, pure, awake, any identity clings, awakened heart, freedom, not perception, freedom, image, let go, rest, truth, who sands, try, whole, deep, undoing, good kid, hard release, safe, familiar costs, spontaneity, honesty, softness, ability, say, no, don't know, human sans, shame, powerful tool, honest reflection, sans improvement, sit quietly, witness not, find wrong, fix, hear thoughts, stay, feel sadness, sans, justify, allow anger, sans guilt, not indulgence, truth-telling to peace, teachings, peace not being good, free need be good, paradox, freedom opens heart, perfection can't, love unearned, give self, others, shift, notice, praise, control, compliment, lighter, anxious, relaxed, pressured, told well, joy moment, perceived, inquiry, gentle, no shame, observation, awareness, choice, see pattern, no grip, thank, protect, voice, not obey, notice, seen good part, choose honesty over approval, Reflect origins. Who praised most child? What? Kindness, silence, achievements, being, doing, safe, messy, confused, moody, hide parts, not blame, insight, end cycles. Dharma, samskara, break habitual imprints, repeated thoughts, reactions, pause, sans approval, seek, interrupt, weaken, space, open, newborn, unconditional self-friendliness. Friendliness, not like all, not turn away, short, stay, shame, hold, prove, breathe, return presence, not performance, impress, just presence. Awareness, not striving, sees, allows, includes. Freedom ground, practice deepens, life shifts, identity softens, no explain, self-need, rest undone, live sincerity sans strategy, non-doing essence, wisdom, not laziness, striving not wholeness, you, presence itself, presence, unhook outcomes, praise, no define, disappoint, no destroy, work, achieve, help, joy, flow, not fear, good kid, free adult, not rebel, careless, meet inner command, awareness, choose love over fear, nervous system, trusts, rest, no rejection, imperfection, no isolation, true love, sans roles, results, trust felt, breath, belly, eyes, soften, mirror, no perform, one see present, real, enough, seeing, pattern, powerless, held truth, not effort, worth, never goodness, measured, praise shapes path, not essence, sans try, free fully, live again, not others, smile, gold stars, kind words, quiet being, joy. Journey continues, burden drops. Conditioning from early praise and fear of rejection. The conditioning from early praise and the accompanying fear of rejection forms a subtle yet powerful foundation for self-judgment, turning what begins as encouragement into a lifelong burden of expectation. As detailed in the transcript, praise initially feels warm, a smile, a kind word, a sense of being seen and valued for doing well in school, at home, or among peers. It registers as love, but soon morphs into something heavier, not mere joy but relentless pressure. Before comprehension sets in, the nervous system forges a connection to be loved. One must be good, not sporadically, but always. This early pattern often conceals itself as discipline or motivation, yet beneath lies a fragile contract. Be perfect or forfeit connection, be impressive or fade into invisibility, be agreeable or risk unsafety. Thus, individuals learn to mold themselves studying harder, speaking the right words, anticipating needs preemptively. Each instance of praise reinforces this conditioning, embedding the identity of the good one deeply. In Buddhist teachings, clinging to identity ranks among the deepest sources of suffering. Believing worth hinges on maintaining a specific role, traps one in the illusion of a solid self, a constructed story or concept. Every moment devolves into an effort to uphold that image. Early praise solidifies this, birthing an internal scorekeeper that scrutinizes every move, tone, and expression. This judge isn't boisterous but unyielding, aiming to perfect everything, fearing misinterpretation, driven by survival through pleasing. As a child, goodness equated to safety. Any straying felt perilous. A mistake transcended error, it threatened belonging. disagreeing wasn't mere opinion, it endangered love. Over time, this reshapes the mind's architecture, becoming the helper who never seeks aid, the smiler amid pain, the tear holder, lest they overwhelm. Within the Dharma, this manifests as suffering from attachment to form, confusing the ephemeral with the eternal, a smile masking sadness, an achievement veiling emptiness. The exterior garners praise, but the interior suffers neglect, splintering the self into a public facade and a concealed ache. Even now, signs emerge, subtle panic upon falling short, guilt during rest, tension from disappointment. These aren't defects but reverberations of praise that linked value to performance. Conditional love breeds a conditional self-loved. Because good, one must perpetually uphold goodness for security. Yet good defies clear definition, fluctuating with moods, cultures, moments. Thus, vigilance ensues, scanning, adjusting, contorting, adept at reading rooms, yet oblivious to self. This isn't moral lapse, but trauma, uncertainty of worth when merely being oneself. It fosters chronic self-judgment, not from perceived badness, but dread of inadequacy. An ever-escalating standard emerges, higher goals, more helpfulness, spirituality, kindness. Even growth serves as worth proof. Healing turns performative. In Buddhist practice, this snares as attachment to virtue, desiring perception as righteous, pure, awakened. But any identity, however noble, clings. The awakened heart prioritizes freedom over image. Freedom entails releasing the persona, resting in the reality that sans effort, one is whole. Yet undoing the good kid identity proves challenging. Familiar safety exacts costs. Lost spontaneity, honesty, softness, forfeited nos, I don't knows. Humanity sans shame. A potent tool for dissolution is honest self-reflection, devoid of enhancement intent. Sit quietly with oneself, not to unearth wrongs or amend, but to witness, hear thoughts and linger, feel sadness sans justification, permit anger sans guilt. This isn't self-indulgence but truth-telling, fostering peace. Teachings affirm peace resides not in goodness but liberation from its necessity. Paradoxically, such freedom unveils the heart in ways perfection cannot. For when love ceases as earnable, it flows as gift, first selfward, then outward. To initiate shift, observe praises sway, compliments lighten or anxious, relaxed or pressured upon acclaim, joy rooted in instant or perception, gentle inquiry, shameless observation yields awareness, thence choice. Seeing the pattern liberates from its clutch. Thank the protective voice, yet decline obedience. Discern the scene as good facet, opt honesty over approval. Reflect origins, childhood praises, what lauded kindness, silence, feats, being or doing, safe in messiness, confusion, moodiness, or parts hidden. Reflections seek insight, not blame, ending cycles. From Buddhist lens, this fractures samskaras, habitual imprints from reiterated thoughts, reactions. Pausing sans approval pursuit interrupts, weakens habit, opens space. Therein, novelty births, unconditional self-friendliness. Not all, liking, but non-aversion. Fall short, stay, shame, hold, prove urge, breathe. Return to presence, not performative, impressive, just presence. Awareness sees, allows, includes. This grounds freedom. As practice intensifies, life transforms, identity mellows, explanation, need fades, rest amid unfinished, sincerity supplants strategy, non-doing essence, wisdom born, not laziness, striving no wholeness root. You, presence itself, presence unhooks outcomes, praise undefines, disappointment undestroys. Work, achieve, help, joy, flows, fear, free. Good kid to free adult, not rebellion, carelessness but awareness meeting, inner commands, love over fear choice. Nervous system trusts, rest, rejection, free, imperfection, isolation, free. True love role, result independent, trust bodily, breath, belly, eyes soften, mirror, no performer present, real, enough. Seeing, pattern impotent, held by truth, sans effort, worth unmeasured by goodness, praise path shapes, essence undefines, sans trying, fully free. Live anew, not smiles, stars, words, but being's quiet joy. Journey persists, burden falls. Once untangling praise pressure, deeper layer surfaces, older, heavier, not self-tone, sharper, colder, dictates action, feeling, being, precedes decisions, lingers post-speech, inner corrections, rest guilt, down fear, borrowed, learned, carried, generational unnoticed, conditioning voice, Buddhist practice. Deep, look causes, conditions shaping perception, nothing accidental, self-inseparable from building influences, self-speech modeled pre-internalization, models, parents, caregivers, teachers, elders, not words always, but tone, posture, silence, reactions, approval, withdrawal, early teachers, marking, marks as the standards, useful, quiet, strong, complain, not, seen, no, or shame, sensitive, too, selfish, difficult, always. Messages root not immediate belief, but repetition, dependency origin, childhood dependence truths anything. Buddha, suffering mistaken identity, deepest, adopting another's voice as own, not choice, survival, conditional love, child adjusts, absorbs rules, adopts patterns, creates masks. Grown, voice shapes thoughts, choices, relations, not cruel, always responsible, disciplined, realistic, but unfree, fear, rooted, disapproval, rejection, too much, not enough. Inherited voices, script mental, plays underneath actions, follow unquestioned or rebel trapped, controls till clear seen, recognition first, mistake, tone yours or others, alone, fail internal rule, listen, phrases familiar, known better, stop dramatic, even sans exact, feeling, tightening, pressure, justify, fix instant, awareness lands, shift sans resistance, anger presence, mindfulness, observe sans layers, voice reacting, pause, hold gently, beneath, young, fragile, confused, not wrong, fear, shaped, not blame parents, past strengthens chain, see pass down, not forward pass, dharma, healing, recognize prior pain, end cycle wisdom. Compassion, acknowledge caregivers' humanity not blank, carried voices, fear, conditions. Harsh judgment, likely judged, withheld love, not free, received. No excuse harm, but releases illusion personal, broken, caused. False beliefs deepen suffering, teachings end delusion. You, voice, pain you. Awareness, voice habit, conditioned sound, empty fixed meaning. Arises, passes, cloud sky, open, undo internalized. New voice not forced, fake kind, agenda free. Not positive thinking, right view. Clear, seeing self not fixed object. Process, unstuck, unfolding. Speak gently, shame part. Hear new, simple, aloud hear. Feel this, no perform, quietly. Often not erase old, alternative. Offer, more. Nervous system learns perfection. Free safety, pressure, free love. Refuge in own awakened heart, not teachings. Rituals watches, sans judgment. Untouched fear, silent, still, remembered, waiting. Continue. See voices shape beyond thoughts, body, breath, posture, room, entry. Sorry, pre-speak, needs, minimize. Physical fear, habits, soften, able. Shrink urge, pause, please, pressure, breathe. New rhythm, learn not old rules react, truth respond. Not fulfill others' blueprint awaken. Awakening, forgiveness, natural understanding. Result, no blame. Carry, ancestors, pain, fix not, yours. Gentle becoming pre-voices, roles, masks. Self not concept presence. Quiet, steady awareness sees clearly, holds love. Buddha's liberation, not life. Escape, within freedom. Clarity, meet moment, sans past. Drag present. Sadness sans judgment. No sans guilt. Rest sans explain. Time, voices fade not force. Disappear, stop feed, believe, react. Echo still, define no. Sounds distant, bow, walk, continue. Step, letting go. Breath, new, begin. Pause, space grows old. Conditioning, space, peace. Peace, nature, untakeable. Inherited voices and the cycle of conditional love. The inherited voices that echo within us, shaping our self-judgment, often stem from the cycle of conditional love passed down through generations, creating patterns that feel like our own, but are borrowed burdens from the past. As the transcript explores, these voices don't always originate in our own experiences. They are learned, carried, and internalized from caregivers, teachers, and elders who modeled them through tone, posture, silence, reactions, approval, or withdrawal. They manifest as dictates on how to act, feel, or be arising before decisions and lingering after, in inner corrections. Guilt for resting, fear of letting others down. This voice isn't always overtly cruel. Sometimes it sounds responsible or realistic, but it lacks freedom because it's rooted in fear. Fear of disapproval, rejection, of being too much or not enough. In Buddhist practice, we are called to examine deeply the causes and conditions that form our perceptions. Nothing arises independently, and the self is intertwined with these influences. The way we speak to ourselves was demonstrated long before it became internal, turning external models into an inner script that plays subtly beneath our actions. These inherited messages take root not through immediate acceptance but through repetition and the vulnerability of childhood dependence, where anything from authority figures feels like truth. Standards like be useful, quiet, strong, don't complain or make a scene, or shaming phrases like you're too sensitive, selfish, always difficult, embed themselves. The Buddha taught that suffering arises from mistaken identity, and one profound form is adopting another's voice as our own, not by choice, but for survival. When love appears conditional, the child adapts, absorbing rules, patterns, masks. Later, this voice influences thoughts, choices, relationships, followed unquestioningly or rebelled against, yet still controlling until seen clearly. Recognition marks the first step, noticing your tone in mistakes, alone, or failing internal rules. Does it sound like yours or someone else's? Phrases may echo, "You should have known better," "Why can't you stop being dramatic?" Even without exact words, the feeling a tightening, pressure to justify or fix, signals its presence. As awareness illuminates, the pattern shifts not through resistance or anger but presence. Mindfulness teaches observation without adding layers. When the voice reacts, pause, hold the reaction gently. Beneath often lies something young, fragile, confused, not wrong, just shaped by fear. The goal isn't blaming parents or rejecting the past that only fortifies the chain, but seeing what's passed down to halt its forward momentum. This is Dharma healing, acknowledging prior pain, ending cycles via wisdom and compassion. Compassion involves recognizing caregivers' humanity. They weren't blank slates, but carriers of their own voices, fears, conditions. Harsh judgment likely stemmed from being judged harshly, withheld love from not receiving it freely. This doesn't excuse harm, but dispels the illusion it was personal, that you were broken or causative. Such delusions deepen suffering. Teachings urge ending them. Delusion posits you as the voice, pain as identity. Awareness reveals the voice as habit, a conditioned sound, empty of fixed meaning, arising and passing like clouds in an open sky. To undo these internalized voices, introduce a new one, not forced or artificial, but kind and agenda-free. This isn't mere positive thinking, but right view, seeing the self as process, not fixed object. You are unfolding, not stuck. Gently speak to shamed parts. Let them hear something new, simple, like you're allowed to be here, to feel this, no more performing. Say it quietly, often not to erase the old, but offer an alternative. With repetition, the nervous system learns safety sans perfection, love sans pressure. This means taking refuge in your awakened heart, the watcher sans judgment, untouched by fear, silent, still, awaiting remembrance. As you persist, observe how these voices extend beyond thoughts to shape body, breath, posture, entering rooms tentatively, apologizing pre-speech, minimizing needs. These physical fear habits can soften. Feel shrink urge, pause, please, pressure, breathe. Learn a new rhythm, not reacting to old rules, but responding to truth. You aren't here to fulfill another's blueprint, but to awaken. In awakening, forgiveness naturally arises from understanding. Cease carrying blame, ancestral pain, none yours fixing. Begin gently becoming who you were, pre-voices, roles, masks. That self isn't conceptual, but present a quiet, steady awareness, seeing clearly, holding all with love. This is Buddha's liberation, not escaping life, but freedom within, meeting moments with clarity, sans dragging past into present. Feel sadness sans judgment, say no sans guilt, rest sans explanation. Over time, voices fade, not forced disappearance, but stopped feeding, believing, reacting. They may echo, but no longer define distant sounds. Bow, continue walking. Each step lets go. Each breath begins anew. With every pause, space widens from old conditioning. That space is peace, your nature irrevocable. The cycle of conditional love perpetuates through these voices, where approval ties to performance, creating a self that constantly earns belonging. But in seeing their origins, you break free. Compassion for self and ancestors ends the transmission. No longer does love hinge on goodness, it becomes inherent. This shift transforms daily life. Boundaries hold without apology, needs voiced without minimization, presence savored without justification. The inherited script loses authority as you author a new narrative, one of inclusion, tenderness, truth. Yet, even as voices loosen, another layer may appear, not from punishment or praise, but transcendence's mask, the urge to bypass discomfort via awakening language, dressing wounds in spiritual words sans presence. Healing, spiritual bypassing mimics progress. Calm, surrender, wisdom, but its avoidance robed. Pain arises. Mind grabs concepts over connection. Sadness met with, quote, sans care. Anger silenced as ego. Grief labeled attachment, pushed. Not teachings, defenses. Fear, rooted. Buddha never dismissed pain. He taught understanding, full knowing, suffering as first noble truth. Not condemn, romanticize, but honest, tender-facing. Bypassing breaks path. Pretending transcend, sans meeting pain. Using ideals as armor, replacing judgment with polished self-image. Subtle danger, hides behind virtue, grateful amid aching heart, detached when body craves connection, let go pre-holding felt, need, creates split, truth, disconnect. Emotions questioned, suppressed for wisdom appearance, shame for non-constant peace. Slowly, one judgment replaces another. Not good enough, but not awakened, peaceful, attached enough. Language changes, pressure, striving, failure, sense remains. Behind path, competition, belief. Mindfulness means clear seeing, including when practice escapes versus wakes. True practice, real, not good-looking, meets all with presence, especially avoided parts. When shame disguised discipline, repression, grief, neutrality, covered, frozen, confusion, certainty, masked, rigidity. States not spiritual weakness, human signs. Path not untouched by life, fully present therewith. Authentic practice rejects not emotion, spaces it, not indulge, believe stories, feel sans, fear, narrative, control. Emotions, messengers, temporary, pointing needs, wounds, boundaries, rush label obstacles, lose learning, high vibration, positive, never reactive ideas, not freedom control, rules from mind wanting same, liberation, control, let go, allow anger rise, burn clean, past sans guilt, tears fall sans apology, suffering not practice, failure doorway thereto, wisdom, compassion holds pain, bypass avoids language, wisdom, clarity through feeling, bypass, numbness pretense, one opens heart, other shuts quietly. Many suffer more trying appear on path holds spiritual standard excluding experience, creates distance, others, body, being, simplicity, dharma, middle way, extremes, avoid not cling, reject emotion, indulgence, suppression, just be with tenderness, patience, arise, pass own time, sans labels. Spiritual concepts, shortcuts, more suffering, overwhelmed as ego, lonely as content within, truth, containing, but quick use, prevents healing dismissal tools versus understanding. Practice, slow, recognize bypassing, gently return, no perfect awareness need, no enlightenment for worth. Allowed messy, unknowing, contradict, slow, grow, not weakness, transformation soil. Allow real, peace possible, peace not difficulty, avoid war, not therewith. Stop pretending elsewhere, stillness opens, nothing prove, impress. Just breath, body, heart best doing. Kindness guides not others, self to struggling, habit falling, approval craving parts. Meet humility, not judgment, superiority. Spiritual humility, awakening not destination, continual return, fall, rise, layers, unfolding. Each drop image, return presence, heart softens, more available, sincere, human. Sincerity connects not enlightened performance, open courage, still learning, pain, forget. Honesty spaces others same, ends comparison, race evolved. Most compassionate, not deny humanity include, fully, tenderly sans shame. Inclusion ends divided, self-suffering perfect, want, wounds, hide, healing, no hiding. Begin, notice spiritual language, avoid, truth, surrender, talk but ungrieved, fine but heavy chest, meant be but tight body. Notice, breathe, allow, ideas go, moment. Return experience, now body, pushed aside, needs attention, not fix, presence. Therefrom, profound healing unfolds, not try harder, stop escape, trust truth, enough path itself. When appear, healed need falls, honest remains, inner life breathes own, sans impress, no masks, pretend human truth moment, moment, recognizing the false self and the path to awareness. Recognizing the false self is a pivotal step in dismantling self-judgment, as it reveals the illusion of a fixed, inherent identity that Buddhist teachings describe as empty of permanent essence, paving the way for a path grounded in awareness and liberation. The transcript emphasizes that the self, as taught by the Buddha, is not a solid entity, but a collection of arising and passing conditions, thoughts, sensations, memories, and habits that we mistakenly cling to as I. This clinging creates the false self, a bundle of illusions leading to restlessness and suffering. When the inner critic declares you are not enough, it adheres to this fabricated identity, amplifying pain not through truth, but through personal investment. We defend against or succumb to it, yet neither is required once we see its transient nature. The path to awareness begins with observation, noticing the critic's tone, timing, and fears without resistance. Mindfulness transforms this seeing into space like the vast sky, where thoughts are mere clouds, allowing the voice to lose power as we withhold belief and energy. In this awareness, patterns emerge. The critic intensifies in moments of vulnerability, exposure, or uncertainty, attempting to alleviate discomfort by fixating on flaws. However, discomfort demands compassion, not correction. Compassion acknowledges suffering's presence and responds with tenderness, preventing the doubling of pain through aversion. As the Buddha instructed, meeting suffering with mindfulness cultivates peace. Upon hearing you failed again, a simple pause and acknowledgement, suffering is here, embodies wise seeing, piercing illusions, and recognizing thoughts as ephemeral sounds. This vast sky represents our true nature, spacious, unbound, undefined by any singular thought or emotion. Deepening practice eliminates the urge to self-repair. Worth decouples from perfection, fostering equanimity, a balanced calm, from non-clinging to praise or blame. Equanimity isn't detached indifference, but a warm, grounded clarity that views all as is, without demanding alteration. Within this space, the critic diminishes. It may surface, but it no longer captivates. Hearing you should have done more, one breathes, smiles, observes it dissipates, birthing a presence-based habit over fear. Presence discloses that we are neither broken nor lagging. Such notions derive from comparison, a clinging to impermanent status, image, or identity. This truth liberates rather than alarms. If nothing endures, no label failures, doubts, unworthiness can define us. They are fleeting wind. What persists is awareness, presence, and the ability to love amid mental clamor. The teachings advocate non-identification, not rejecting experience but avoiding conflating it with identity. The critic labels lazy, yet mindfulness notes, a thought about laziness arises. Failure becomes judgment is here. This nuanced shift entraps no longer, it emancipates. Freedom necessitates patience and repeated returns to the present, where the critic originates in the past and projects into the future, but unravels in the now through clarity, akin to light dispelling shadows. The Buddha's no-self doctrine offers liberation, not negation. We transcend fixed narratives, roles, and thoughts, rendering life spacious, open, and kind. Choices emanate from love, not fear. Striving continues sans worth. Validation. Growth unfolds naturally, like a flower extending toward light, not for acclaim but innate design. Inevitable stumbles revive the voice, met now with a gentle bow. Here you are again. I see you, and I will not abandon myself this time. True transformation creates expanse around the critic, a tender awareness field that embraces without domination. No internal conflict, no flight from unease. Presence and stillness dominate. In stillness, a profound quiet unveils the truth beneath, neither critic nor praise, but inherent freedom. Rest therein, relinquishing not enough, inhaling kindness, exhaling strain, permitting all as is. Nothing requires mending, only comprehension, embrace, love. This terminates judgment, inaugurates peace. The voice mellows into a transient breeze within awareness's expanse. Perceiving the critic as a fear-anchored survival trait invites stillness. Yet, a lingering form may persist, not abrasive, but subdued pressure. Be good, do better, don't disappoint. This derives from misconstrued praise, evolving warmth into expectation. Praise initially felt affectionate, a smile, affirmation, visibility, but soon burdened with anticipation, not mere delight but compulsion. The nervous system links love via perpetual goodness. This concealed pattern masquerades as discipline or drive, yet conceals a brittle pact, perfection or connection loss, impressiveness or obscurity, agreeability or peril. Shaped accordingly, diligent study, apt words, preempted needs, praise, entrenched conditioning, rooting good one identity. Buddhist doctrine warns identity clinging as profound suffering, worth via role in snares in self-illusion, a tale, notion, moments sustain facade. Early praise cements, spawning relentless scorekeeper, surveilling actions, tones, expressions, not narcissism, but pleasing trained survival. Childhood, goodness, safety path. Deviation, hazardous. Error, belonging, threat. Dissent, love, risk. Mind restructured, aid sans request. Smile through agony, restrain tears lest excessive. Dharma terms this form attachment, suffering ephemeral, true confusion. Sadness concealing smile, emptiness masking feet. Exterior acclaimed, interior disregarded, self bifurcates. Public visage, veiled ache. Signs, shortfall, panic, rest, guilt, disappointment, tension. Echoes, performance, tied value via praise. Conditional love yields conditional self-goodness for security. Good ambiguous shifts with mood, culture, instant, vigilant, scan, adapt, distort room, savvy, self-oblivious. No ethical shortfall trauma, worth instability when authentic. Chronic judgment, inadequacy, dread. Escalating benchmarks, superior aims, amplified aid, spirituality, benevolence, growth worth evidence, healing show, practice ensnares, virtue attachment perceived righteous, pure, enlightened, identities cling, awakened heart, freedom, focused, not perception, freedom, persona release, rest in sands, effort, wholeness. Good kid release, arduous, secure, known exacts, tolls, forfeited vitality, candor, gentleness, denied negations, uncertainties, shameless humanity. Dissolution tool, improvement, free, honest introspection, quiet sitting, witnessing, not fault, finding, amending, thoughts heard, lingered, sadness felt sans rationale, anger permitted sans remorse, no pampering veracity to tranquility. Doctrine, peace via goodness, freedom, need. Paradox, freedom, heart, unveils perfection, can't. Unearned love, self-gift, outward. Shift initiation, praise dominance notice, compliment, eased or stressed, acclaim, serene or burdened, joy momentary or perceived, shameless inquiry, observation, awareness, choice. Pattern visibility, grip loss, protective voice gratitude, non-compliance. Good seen aspect notice, approval, honesty preference. Origins reflection, child praises. Lauded traits compassion, quietude, triumphs, essence or deeds. Messy, muddled, moody security. Concealed facets, blame-free insight cycle termination. Dharma, samskara rupture, repetitive thought, reaction imprints. Approval, avoid pause. Disruption, attenuation. Void creation, novelty. Self-unconditional amiability. Amiability, universal approval, no aversion absence. Shortfall, persist, shame, cradle, proof, crave, respire. Presence reversion, not spectacle, impress mere presence. Awareness, strive, less perceives, permits, encompasses. Liberty foundation, intensification, existence alters. Persona mellows, self-justification wanes, incomplete repose. Strategy yields authenticity, non-action core. Sagacity, indolence, no striving wholeness, denies. Presence, embodiment. Presence, outcome detachment. Acclaim, identity. Neutral, letdown, undevastating. Labor, success, assist. Delight, stream. Terror, absent. Good child, liberated, grown, not defiance. Recklessness, consciousness, confronting internal edicts. Affection over apprehension. Neurological framework confides. Repose, rejection, exempt. Flaw, isolation, exempt. Authentic affection. Role, outcome, independent. Confidence, somatic. Respiration, abdomen. Gaze, mollify. Reflection, performer. Absent current, authentic, sufficient. Perception, motif, debilitated. Verity sustained, exertion free. Merit goodness, unquantified. Commendation trajectory forms. Core undetermines. Effortless, utterly emancipated. Existence renews, not grins, accolades, affirmations. Existence's serene delight. Odyssey endures, load descends. Once praise entanglement loosens, stratum profounder manifests. Aged, weightier. Self-intonation, no acute, frigid. Conduct, feeling, essence mandates. Choice precedes, utterance post lingers. Internal amendments, repose, remorse, disappointment, dread. Lent, acquired, born, ancestral, unperceived. Conditioning, timbre. Buddhist discipline, profound scrutiny. Origins, conditions perception, molding, naught fortuitous. Ego indivisible, formative impacts. Self, dialogue pre-internal modeled. Paradigms, progenitors, guardians, instructors. Seniors, verbiage occasional. Demeanor, stance, mute. Response, endorsement, retraction frequent. Primordial, mentors, imprinting. Imprints norms. Utilitarian, hushed, robust. Grumble, no. Spectacle, no. Or disgrace. Oversensitive, egocentric, perpetually troublesome. Communications embed not prompt credence, reiteration. Juvenile reliance, infancy reliance. Verities arbitrary. Buddha, anguish, erroneous persona. Profoundest, external timbre, adoption as personal, not volition, endurance, affection provisionnelle, juvenile conforms, assimilate norms, forge disguise, maturity, timbre molds, cognition, selections, bonds, unqueried adherence, or insurgency ensnared, dominates till lucid, inception, error, intonation personal or alien, solitary internal norm, breach, attend, idioms acquainted, anticipated, superior, cease theatrical, verbatim absent, sensation, constriction, compulsion vindicate, remedy prompt, consciousness alights, metamorphosis, sans opposition, rage attendance, contemplation, scrutinize sans strata, timbre responding, halt, tenderly clasp, subjacent, juvenile, delicate, perplexed, not erroneous, terror formed, no progenitor, past censure feta fortifis, perceive, transmitted, onward, halt, doctrine restoration, antecedent agony discern, sequence terminate sagacity, mercy, mercy, antecedent humanity, concede not vacant, transported timbres, terrors, essences, sévère critique, probable critiqued, severely, affection restrained, probable unrestrained, unreceived, harm unexcused, yet delusion, dispel personal, fractured, provoked, fallacies anguish intensify, doctrines delusion cessation implore, delusion, ego timbre, agony essence, consciousness, timbre, routine conditioned resonance, vacant stable import, emerge, vanish, nimbus, expansive firmament, internalized nullify, novel timbre, not coerced, counterfeit, benevolent, objective, absent, no optimistic cognition correct perspective, ego, object, immobile, no, progression, unfixed, evolving, shame segment mildly articulate, novel audition, elementary, permitted hither, sense this, perform cease, muted, recurrent, not antiquated, obliterate, substitute proffer, recurrence, neurological learns, flawlessness, absent security, compulsion, absent affection, sanctuary own enlightened core, not doctrines, ceremonies observes judgment, free, terror untouched, muted, immobile, recollected await, persevere, timbres transcend cognition form, corporeal, inhalation, carriage, chamber, ingress, pre-utterance, regret, requisites, diminish, corporeal terror routines, mollifiable, contraction, impulse, intermission, gratify, compulsion, inhale, novel cadence acquire, not antiquated edicts respond, verity reply, not alien schema satisfy rouse, rousing, pardon innate comprehension, consequence, blame transport cease, forbears agony, non-personal mend, tender pre-timbers, roles, disguises, emergence, ego, non-abstract attendance, serene, constant consciousness, lucid perceives, affection clasps entirety, Buddha emancipation, existence, evasion, no, interior liberty instance confront lucidity, antecedent, present, drag, absent, melancholy judgment-free sense, negation, remorse-free, repose, rationale-free, duration, timbres, diminish, not compelled, vanish, nourish, credit, react, halt, resonance persist. Characterize no remote acoustics. Incline, advance, stroll. Pace, release. Inhalation, inception, fresh. Intermission, each. Expanse broadens antiquated molding. Expanse, serenity. Serenity essence, irrevocable. The traps of avoidance and striving. Spiritual bypassing as a mask for pain. As the inherited voices begin to relinquish their grip not through erasure, but through compassionate awareness, a newfound space emerges, allowing clarity to flourish. Yet, this clarity doesn't always manifest as lightness. Sometimes, when the clamor subsides, suppressed emotions surface. The sadness once smiled over, the anger deemed unspiritual, the grief denied for peace's sake. Herein reveals another layer, not through overt judgment but via transcendence's veneer, the compulsion to sidestep discomfort using awakening's vernacular, adorning wounds with spiritual verbiage instead of healing via presence. Spiritual bypassing frequently masquerades as advancement, embodying calm, surrender, wisdom. In truth, it's evasion cloaked in sanctity, unease concealed beneath doctrines. It commences when affliction arises, and the intellect seizes notions over communion, sadness countered with aphorism, sounds, solicitude, ire muted by ego label, sorrow tagged attachment, and dismissed. These aren't genuine teachings but safeguards, subtly fear-based. The Buddha never advocated pain's dismissal. He espoused its comprehension, fully acknowledging suffering as the inaugural noble truth not to denounce or idealize, but to confront with candor and gentleness. Bypassing disrupts this trajectory by feigning transcendence sans genuine encounter, employing lofty ideals as bulwark, substituting self-judgment with refined self-portrait. Not superior, merely more insidious. Its peril lies in virtue's facade, mandating gratitude amid heartache, detachment when physique yearns linkage, premature release sans initial grasp. This engenders schism, verity severance, emotions interrogated, quelled for sagacity's semblance, shame for intermittent peace, lack. Gradually, unbeknownst, one critique supplants another, no longer inadequate, but insufficiently enlightened, serene, detached. Lexicon alters, strain, endeavor, defeat, persistence endure, path perceived as rivalry, self-lagging. In Buddhist discipline, mindfulness signifies lucid perception, encompassing when practice evades rather than arouses. Authentic discipline concerns authenticity, not aesthetics confronting all with attendance, particularly evaded facets. Shame as regimen disguised yields suppression. Grief neutrality veiled congeals. Bewilderment, certainty masked breeds inflexibility. These aren't enlightenment impediments but humanity indicators. Trajectory not life untouched, utterly attendant thereto. Legitimate discipline emotion rejects not accommodates, not pamper or credence every tale, but sense sans dread, saga, mastery. Emotions, heralds, ephemeral, directing requisitas, injuries, limits, hasten obstacle tag, forfight instruction, perpetual high vibration, positivity, reactionless notions, liberty, no mandates from control, craving psyche, emancipation, mastery, abdicate, permit ire ascend, immolate purely, transit sans remorse, lacrimation cascade sans contrition, affliction, not discipline, defeat, portal therein, sagacity, mercy, affliction cradles, evasion lexicon, avoids, sagacity, sensation, clarity, evasion, pretense, numbness, one unveils core, other stealthily seals. Multitudes anguish amplified, not path deviance, but arduous path semblance, uphold ethereal criterion, excluding actuality, engenders, estrangement, peers, physique, existence, purity, doctrine, median route, pivotal extremes, shun, emotion, adhere, reject no, indulgence, repression, no merely abide tenderly, patiently, emerge, vanish temporal sans tags, ethereal notions, abbreviations, affliction, augment, burdened as self, isolated as internal, content, veracity imbued, yet swift application mends, prevents comprehension versus rejection instruments, discipline, decelerate, evasion, discern, tenderly revert, perpetual used no need, enlightenment worth no prereq, permitted disarray, ignorance, inconsistency, gradual evolve, frailty no metamorphosis terrain, permit authentic, tranquility viable, tranquility difficulty, elude no therewith non-belligerent, cease elsewhere, feign, vast quiescence unfolds, naught substantiate, dazzle, merely respiration, physique, core optimal, benevolence directs not solely peers, self to faltering, habit relapsing, commendation yearning segments, encounter modesty, not critique, superiority, ethereal modesty, arousal terminus, no perpetual reversion, descent, ascent, strata reveal, each facade, shed, attendance, revert, core mollifies, enhanced, accessible, genuine, mortal, genuineness resonates non-enlightened show, candid valor, acquiring yet, agony persist, recollect, omit, candor permits peers akin, comparison, rivalry terminates, utmost benevolent, humanity, deny no comprehensively, tenderly, shameless incorporate, incorporation bifurcated, self-anguish concludes flawless, aspiring, lesions, conceal, restoration, concealment, cease, commence, ethereal lexicon truth, evade notice, capitulation, discourse yet unmourned, sound yet thoracic, ponderous, destined yet somatic contract, discern, respire, permit, notions, momentary relinquish, experience revert, corporal now, aside, thrust, attention, requisite, mend, no, attendance, profound restoration therefrom, not intensified endeavor, evasion, halt, confidence, verity, sufficient trajectory per se. When healed semblance, necessity wanes, residue far candid, internal existence autonomously respire, impress absent, facades, no simulation, no mortal verity, instant, yet herein authenticity burgeons, surreptitious compulsion infiltrates not, extrinsic, intrinsic, subdued thrust, tacit insufficiency, perpetual more, better, serene, swift, evolve, remedy, superficial, mild, subterranean, inexorable, not antecedent timbre advancement, resolution, expansion mimic, yet identical keen margin, undertone, yet inadequate, concealed critique within self-enhancement, self-aid ethos wholeness vows, apt methodology, book, voice adhere, tranquility productivity, opposite, mending mere routine, distant, felicity dawn prompt, unceasing optimize holders, beneath, current essence insufficient, enhancement, aspiration, no, issue, conviction, incessant, ameliorate worth, requisite engenders affliction, Buddhist, discipline, endeavor, emancipation, no, equate, trajectory, not entity, become lucid, perceive extant, spurious release, self-enhancement taskified, existence project, treat, care, recipient, no labor, object, separation breeds, current, ideal schism, replete strain, shame, despair, muted, striving, ubiquitous, contemplation, ideal, state pursue versus mere, abide what, therapy, mend, loop endless, insight perpetual insufficient, quotidian, execution, accumulation, regimen, erect, milestone, hunt, forward, gaze, here, never, irony, change, craving, authentic peace, yearn, suffering, cease, yet support, tools novel criteria, heal no, control morph, control core, terror if cease thrust, collapse all, if self-accept, stagnate, sans perpetual ameliorate, lag, terrors no, frailty lesions, mercy, requisite, pressure, no, doctrine, outcome, adhere suffering, root, worth growth, attach, liberty rivalry, transmute, insight benchmark, each, error setback, each, tranquility objective, even, emancipation perfection, no arrive relinquish via, relinquish no surrender, confidence innate vigilant, core no construct uncover, each discipline, respiration, consciousness, instant no advance, reversion, not superior iteration, verity extant, self-enhancement, dominance, insidious aggression, accountability name, self-harsh, discipline name over-schedule, productivity name, body ignore signals, focus call, stillness, terror, stillness striving conceals, exposes, halt, sufficient, exhaustion discern beneath, ache, muted, never aligned, evaluation, perpetual, how perform, metric shifting progress, irrespective, indications misalignment, objective tranquility no, execution yes, comparison thrives, others observe anxiety not inquisitiveness, routines, advancement, highlights mirrors, not instruct, critique, wonderlag, effort, shortfall, comparison community competition transmutes, doctrine, tranquility lead no attendance yes, attendance immeasurable, evaluable extant or absent, attendance revert, pressure, notice, subdued self-dialogue, grounded, now should or triggered, why or healed thought already, thoughts, utilitarian seem, disguised judgments, discipline cloaked penalties no, awareness, invitations no, authentic discipline, ethereal, no harsh care, anchored, tenderly revert, kindly retry, difficult stay, discipline, Expanse creates mollification, not tension. Growth constriction, feel, clutched overly, not healing. Victory, project no entity. Respiring, altering, acquiring, airing, reverting, perpetual, not lag reversion trajectory. Self here meet sans append, amend, subtlety unveils. Confidence, tacit cognition, essence absent, no. Merit output unmeasured, discipline commodity, no. Worth unearned. Herein, self-aid instruments, sagacity employable. Support no, duty no. Contemplation insight no. Self-assault no. Contemplation linkage no. Execution no. Expansion organic no. Coerced no. Transition minor inquiries. Instrument core, sustain or else. Someone compel. Practice unveil or omit. Failure sense. Improvement, pursue human. Amplify or vacant. Inquiries no doubt lucidity, invite. Awakening trajectory, rigid no candid instance repetitive. Perfection grip release, sense anew. Repose, physique heed, credence what utters. Requisites guilt-free address. Fatigued halt, agonized mollify. Ascend no, descend yes. Verity, voyage. Every facet counts not advancement. Epiphanies, bewilderment, stagnation, mourning. No, defeats unfolding component. Lotus mud through ascends. Lucidity once evaded via emerges. Doctrine no alter, become extant lucid. Perceive warmly, attendantly, patiently. Perception metamorphoses, not exertion, strain, accomplishment. Unceasing ameliorate pressure wane. Neurological confidence. Brace no, haste no, evaluation, existence no. Experience, repose, instant singular. Repose inactive, no. Detachment, no potent reality reversion. No mend, no label, just inhalation, physique, consciousness. Therein, endeavor, cascades. Extant sacred simplicity here, sufficient now. When striving mollifies, worth constant growth illusion cease chase. Inquiry multitudes terror, ask no. Not ameliorate how, why fix, need perpetual believe. Routines, objectives, affirmations, endless self-labor beneath. Tacit ache, conviction profound fractured, natural unacceptable, mending love prereq. Conviction unobtrusive, noble lexicon conceals. Optimal self-strive, serenity become labor. Segment remedy then whole finally. Yet insufficiency belief act, each, suffering, root fortify. Self, repudiation, doctrine, affliction, pain, no resistance what? Resist most, internal no, external. Emotions raw too, thoughts mismatch want, habits tardy, alter. Intellect mends no, clarity, terror. If no swift ameliorate, forfeit affection, linkage, merit. Fixation, identity becomes. Self-perpetual labor need perceive. Layer perpetual peel. Shadow confront, pattern mend. Ethereal trajectory, treadmill no refuge. Attained, think each, novel stratum. Cycle perpetuates, cycle conceals verity profound. Expansion, repudiation, no incorporation, yes, not erroneous. Judge, every facet interest, care meet. perplexed, mistake, afraid paths, enlightenment no barriers practice terrain, self-solid, no conditions compose, emerge, alter, dissolve, all like, fixed you no improve, experiences awareness through flow, acceptance no passivity, revolutionary, this belongs to willingness, ashamed, not proud, want hide even, repudiation separation deepens, acceptance transformation, door opens not coerce, attendance via, attendance mends not alter, lucid perceive sans judgment, filter, clear see, react why, adhere why, habit same, fall not defects, pain, responses, past, shaped patterns, protection, born actions, comprehension, mercy births, not condolence, pretext, profound cognition, interior, hurt, care, no correction need, cease, severe instructor, benevolent observer become, awareness hold, not pain escape, finally sense willing, transition Buddha, right view, delusion, through perceive experience, nature, view, interior no, adversary no mend, part energy confront, narratives liberate, affliction cradle till release, time, self-fix discomfort, master attempt, intellect, this alter then, anxious, sad, ire, no, feel, emotions no, penalties, impermanent surges causes, conditions from, remove, attempt, recur more, allow fully, gently, self-dissolve, acceptance war, cease, weaponry down, heed finally, this affliction trajectory, part affirm, traverse, not evade, comprehend, self-fix, cease, neurological relaxes, hyper-alert quiets, critic mollifies, survival no live, present safety sense, safety no alter build every you part include, taught hide even, place, healing natural not exertion, awareness via, not tactic, surrender via, core unveils not coerced, closed no finally, unveiling expanse, creates, sense, space, repose space, agenda, prove, fix no space, space, love no objective, state, love progress, independent, no recompense, alive, because simply, trajectory liberty true, discipline, no commence gentleness, yes, hurt parts toward turn, alter no need, see only need, fix urge arise, inquisitive meet, unworthy feel part now, what, alter no, if afraid what, pain avoid what, queries swift no answers sit invite respire linger discomfort transforms, flee, congeals, attendance ice, thaws, ethereal desire rejection form even, kind, serene, wise perpetual want, know who are, states transient, arise useful, grasp, know, spiritual be try versus attendant, become chase still, cling still, doctrine non-adhere reiterate, relinquish not objects notions, self-story relinquish, ideal iteration chase relinquish, wholeness objective relinquish, whole already, confusion, mess, fear even, wholeness no perfection, inclusion yes, experience circle, full compassion held, deepest restoration, fix nothing, left, love only, give remain, the hidden judgment in self-improvement, The hidden judgment embedded in self-improvement often masquerades as progress and purpose, subtly reinforcing the very inadequacy it promises to resolve, turning personal growth into a perpetual cycle of self-criticism. As the transcript delves into this layer, the culture of self-help bombards us with assurances of wholeness, if only we follow the right method, read the correct book, or heed the ideal voice. Peace awaits on productivity's far side. Healing appears just one habit away. Happiness reserved for those who rise early and optimize ceaselessly. Yet beneath this glossy veneer lurks a perilous notion: your current self is insufficient. Even the aspiration to improve can morph into resistance against the present moment. Wanting to evolve isn't inherently problematic. It's the conviction that constant betterment is requisite for worth that breeds suffering. In Buddhist practice, striving does not equate to liberation. The path involves clear seeing of what already exists and releasing the false, not becoming something new. When self-improvement becomes a mandate, life transforms into a project, no longer a being to nurture, but an entity to labor upon. This fosters division, a chasm between who you are and who you ought to be, filled with pressure, shame, and quiet despair. Such striving permeates everywhere. In meditation, it manifests as pursuing a flawless state rather than sitting with reality. In therapy, an endless fixing loop where insights never suffice. In everyday routines, performance through habit stacking, milestone chasing, always forward-gazing, never fully arriving. The irony lies in its genuine origins, a desire for peace, an end to suffering. But when tools for support evolve into benchmarks, they cease healing and become control mechanisms. Control at its core stems from fear, that halting the push will cause collapse, that self-acceptance halts growth, that without perpetual enhancement, you'll lag behind. These fears aren't weaknesses, but wounds demanding compassion, not added strain. Buddhist teachings highlight that attaching to outcomes is suffering's root. Linking worth to growth turns freedom into competition. Insights become metrics, mistakes setbacks, even stillness a target. Liberation arrives not via perfection, but relinquishment, trusting your innate awakeness, your core needing no construction, only revelation. Every practice, breath, awareness moment, isn't progression, but return not to a superior version, but to extant truth. When the self-improvement mindset dominates, subtle aggression ensues. Harsh self-speak in accountability's name. Scheduling as discipline, ignoring body signals for productivity. What seems focus is truly stillness, fear. Stillness exposes what striving obscures. Pausing long enough reveals underlying exhaustion, the muted ache of never catching up, perpetual evaluation with shifting metrics regardless of advancement. These signal misalignment. The goal shifts from peace to performance. Comparison flourishes here, observing others with anxiety, not curiosity. Their routines, progress, highlights as judgmental mirrors, pondering if you're lagging, efforting enough, falling short. This transmutes community into rivalry. The Dharma reminds that peace isn't in leading but presence, and presence defies measurement or evaluation. It simply is or isn't. Returning to presence requires noticing the pressure. Subtle self-talk, like I should be more grounded by now. Why am I still triggered? I thought I'd healed this. Seeming useful, these are disguised judgments, punishments as discipline. Real spiritual discipline isn't harsh, but care-rooted. Come back gently, try again kindly, stay even when hard. This breeds space, softness over strain. If growth feels constricting, something's overly grasped. You aren't here to triumph at healing. You're no project, but a breathing, changing, learning, failing, returning being. Not lagging, returning is the path. Meeting yourself sans addition or fix opens subtlety. Trust, quiet, knowing nothing, essential lacks. Value unmeasured by output, practice no product, worth unearned. From here, self-help tools wield wisely. Supports, not obligations. Reflection as insight, not attack. Mindfulness as connection, not performance. Growth natural, not forced. Shift via small questions. Does this tool heart, support, or else be compel? Practice open or miss, failure feel, improvement, chase human, more or hollow. Questions invite clarity, no doubt. The awakening path isn't rigid steps, but honest moments repeated. Releasing perfection grip allows refeeling, resting, body listening, trusting signals. Needs, sans, guilt, tired, stop, hurting, soften, no longer climbing but landing in truth. Journey, every part counts, not progress, breakthroughs, confusion, stagnation, grief. No failures, unfolding parts. Like lotus through mud, clarity from once escaped arises. Teachings invite clear seeing of extant, with warmth, presence, patience, that seeing transforms, sans effort, pressure, achievement. Ceaseless, improve pressure, wanes. Nervous system trusts no brace, rush, evaluation, living, experience, rests, one moment time. Rest not passive, disconnect powerful reality return. No fix, brand, just breath, body, awareness. Therein striving falls, sacred here, simplicity remains, now enough. As striving softens, chasing constant growth illusion for worth ceases. Surfacing question multitudes fear ask, not improve, how, but why fix? Need believe perpetual. Routines, goals, affirmations, self-work endless beneath. Quiet, deep broken, belief, natural state unacceptable, healing love, requisite, belief unobvious, noble language hides, best self-trying, peaceful becoming working, one part fix then whole finally. But each insufficiency-based act strengthens suffering root, self-rejection, doctrine, suffering not pain only what resistance, most resist, own inner not outer world, emotions too raw, thoughts mismatch want, habits slow change, mind fixes not clarity, from fear, from if not fast improve, lose love, connection, value, fixation identity becomes always work, need, see self, layer endless peel, shadow face, pattern heal. Spiritual path treadmill, not refuge, think made each, new floor appears, cycle continues, cycle hides profound truth, growth rejection, not from inclusion, not wrong judge, but every part interest, care meet confused, mistake, afraid parts, not enlightenment obstacles practice ground, fixing reinforces, separate broken self-illusion needs fix. Dharma, self not solid conditions made, arises, changes, dissolves like else. No fixed you improve experiences, flow awareness, through only. Separation creates suffering, acceptance radical this too belongs, even ashamed, proud, not, hide, want. Rejection deepens separation, acceptance opens transformation. Door, not force, presence via. Presence via, presence heals not change, but clear see sun's judgment. Filter, clear see, why react, cling, habits same fall, not flaws, pain, responses, past, shaped patterns, protection, born actions. Understanding compassion births not pity, excuses. Deep recognition inside hurts, needs care not correction. Harsh teachers cease, kind witness become. Hold awareness, not pain escape. Finally feel willing. Shift Buddha right view, delusion through see experience, nature. View, no enemy inside, no fix. Part energy meet, stories release, suffering cradle till let's go. Most times self-fixing discomfort control attempt. Mind, change this then, no anxious, sad, angry feel. Emotions, no punishments. Impermanent waves causes, conditions from. Remove, try, return more. Allow fully, gently, own dissolve. Acceptance, not giving up war stop. Tools down, reshape self. Listen finally. Say this, pain path part trust. Walk not, escape, understand. Stop self-fix. Nervous system relax. Hypervigilance quiets. Critic softens. No survival mode live. Own presence safe feel. Safety not change who are build every part include. Taught hide even. Place. Healing natural not effort. Awareness via. Not strategy, surrender via. Heart opens, not forced. Stop closing finally. Opening space creates. Feel space, rest space. No agenda, prove, fix space. Space, love, not goal. State, love, not dependent progress, not reward. Simply there, alive because. True freedom path, not begin discipline gentleness with. Turn toward hurt parts, say change no need. Seen only need. Fix urge arise, curiosity meet. What part unworthy feel now? No change if afraid what? Pain try avoid what? Questions no quick answers invites. Sit, breathe, stay. Stay discomfort, transforms. Run, keeps frozen. Presence melts ice. Spiritual desire even rejection form. Want kind, calm, wise all time. But not who are passing states. Useful arise, but grasp not. Try be spiritual instead present. Still become someone. Still chase. Cling. Teachings. Non-attachment point. Again, let go, not things, ideas. Let go self-story think should be. Let go ideal version. Let go whole goal be. Already whole. Even confusion, mess, fear. Wholeness, not perfection, inclusion. Full circle experience, compassion held. Deepest healing, nothing left fix. Only love left give. Fix weight, begin lift. Self-rejection space, open once, live, unexpected rise place. Heaviness not strive from deeper, not improve pressure, but feel alive even too much. Guilt no clear cause, suspicion own needs, doubt right, feel okay. Not laziness, lack discipline, pain stored years, silence, trauma unseen. Many deep self-judgment carry not healing, fail wounds carry formed before words. Wounds not one event shaped slowly, time through repeated moments, safety missing, presence inconsistent, love conditions, emotions too big room, boundaries blurred, ignored, developmental trauma. Not always visible outside, deeply woven nervous system, effects, relate own mind way. Instead trust inner world, monitor it. Instead home feel inside, high alert remain, body braces, breath shortens, heart anticipates wrong, not suffer want, but learned prepare. Preparation habit becomes constant self-scan. What say? Too much? Wrong do? Thoughts not, just mind habits, symptoms, nervous system, still prevent what already happened, still avoid shamed, left, punished, misunderstood. Pain, developmental trauma, not just happened, what meaning created around. Silent beliefs cause this. Known better should, not enough was. Beliefs body, live, grow stronger. Each repeat without question, each inner voice, too sensitive or over this by now should, old wound reinforces. Buddhism, dependent origination, nothing own arise, every effect cause, every pattern history, judgment now not random roots often moments needs not met care, tears inconvenient, joy too loud, quietness misread, told words, silence wrong, simply being. Why self-judgment logical feel taught early, not cruelty, normal felt. Body forgets not long after moment past. Tension remains. Learn, shrink emotions, stay small relationships, earn love, effort, expect rejection, even kindness offered. Not self-hatred, self-protection, but protection fear-built, never peace lead. Shift pattern, cannot start force new thoughts. Mind convince cannot till body heard. Trauma nervous system lives. Healing begin their gentleness through. Slow down, stay discomfort without push away. Most compassionate, recognize self-judgment, not who are, but endured what. Not born distrust, self-learned somewhere, way. Learned, unlearned can, but not punishment through. Only presence. Presence this fear sense makes, this shame reason has, this reaction not wrong. Response pain never safe enough feel fully, body truly safe feel. Healing own begins. But safety force cannot comes repeated moments, be with self new way. Not demand, not fix, just witness. Hold space, anger, sadness, confusion. Mindfulness practice, not avoid emotions. Make space them breathe. Space, enough younger parts feel welcome again. Silenced parts, told too much parts, still hear, heard want. Trauma makes suspicious own tenderness. Joy, dangerous feel. Rest, unsafe feel. But reteach body experiences allowed. Ease earn not have. Exist right, prove not. Happens slowly. Ways speak self. Sit own pain. Stop abandon self hard moments. Each compassion act. Signal. Nervous system no longer need protect from self. Buddhist teaching. No fixed identity. No permanent self-hate. Fix. Only process. Conditions arise, fall. Pain transform. Not force. but stop cling. Story defines. Story too much. Story unworthy. Story need constant better. Not truth survival strategies another time. Kept safe, but serve no longer. Heal not escape. Stories bow. Listen, ask, protect me from what? Part me abandoned feel. Part me not speak get. Inquiry not quick answer. Open something. New relationship self. Where judgment replace understanding. Where shame soften truth. Body holds memories. Mind name cannot. But memories no need solve felt need. Included need. Not broken because react. Not behind because pain carry. Human history with. Reasons with. Honor reasons. Stop fight own nervous system. Stop pathologize feelings. Start treat self-worth. Protect not life from, but belief wrong how life shaped. Shift not dramatic quiet. Breath take before react. Pause trigger story between. Softness offer after hard moment. Not small rewiring. Undoing years. Fear. Mind still whisper doubt. Old thoughts still arise, but no longer give final word. Meet presence. Meet care. Say yes, this pain real, and also more than this pain am. More stay, more trust. More trust, more body begin rest. Rest, self-judgment lose grip, because no longer anything defend against. Here and enough. Even pain, scars, especially truth carried what? Not weakness, strength. Survived. Now live differently. Not avoid past, but relate new eyes, new breath, new kindness. Not easy, but true, because beneath trauma always whole been. Now wholeness seen sans judgment, shame, fix need just as are. Fixation on fixing and the rejection of wholeness. The fixation on fixing oneself perpetuates a cycle of self-rejection where the belief in inherent brokenness turns healing into an endless task, denying the wholeness that Buddhist teachings affirm is already present beneath the illusions of deficiency. As the transcript uncovers, beneath the routines, goals, affirmations, and ceaseless self-work lies a quiet ache, a conviction that something profound is fractured, that your natural state is unacceptable, and healing is love's prerequisite. This belief hides in noble guise. I'm just striving for my best self. I'm laboring to become more peaceful. Fix this one part, and I'll finally be whole. Yet each action rooted in insufficiency fortifies suffering's core, self-repudiation. In Buddhist teachings, suffering transcends mere pain. It's resistance to what is. Most resist their inner experience, raw emotions, mismatched thoughts, slow-changing habits. The mind attempts fixes not from clarity but fear, if not swiftly improved. Love, connection, value are forfeited. This fixation becomes identity, viewing oneself as perpetual work, needed, endless layers to peel, shadows to confront, patterns to mend. The spiritual path morphs into a treadmill, not refuge. Each attained unveils a new floor, cycle enduring. What hides is profound truth, growth from inclusion, not repudiation, not judging wrong, but meeting every part with interest and care. The confused, mistake-making, afraid parts. These aren't enlightenment barriers but practice ground. Fixing reinforces separate broken self-illusion, needing fix. Dharma teaches self on solid conditions composed, arising, changing, dissolving like else. No fixed you to improve experiences, flow through awareness only. Acceptance isn't passivity radical. This too belongs willingness, even ashamed, unproud, hide, wanting. Rejection deepens separation. Acceptance opens transformation door, not force, presence via. Presence heals, not change, but clear sea sans judgment, filter. Clear sea, react, cling, habits fall, why not flaws, pain, responses, past, shaped patterns, protection, born actions, understanding births, compassion, not pity, excuses, deep recognition inside hurts, needs care, not correction. Cease, harsh teacher, become kind witness, hold awareness, not escape pain, finally willing feel. Shift is Buddha's right view. See through delusion into experience, nature, view, no inner enemy, no fix, part meet energy, release stories, cradle suffering till let's go, most self-fixing, discomfort, control attempt, mind, change this then, no anxious, sad, angry, emotions, no punishments, impermanent waves from causes, conditions, try remove, more return. Allow fully, gently, own dissolve. Acceptance, war, stop, down tools, self-reshape, finally listen. Say, trust this pain, path part, walk, not escape, understand, stop self-fix, nervous system relax, hypervigilance quiets, critic softens, no survival live, presence, safe, feel, safety not change, who build include every part, taught, hide even, place, healing natural not effort, awareness via, not strategy, surrender via, heart opens not forced, stop closing, opening creates space, feel, rest, no agenda, prove, fix, space, love, no goal, state, love, progress, independent, no reward, simply there, alive because. True freedom path. Begin not discipline gentleness. Turn toward hurt parts. No need change. Need only seen. Fix, urge. Curiosity meet. What part unworthy now? Afraid, what if no change? Avoid what pain? Questions, no quick answers. Invite, sit, breathe, stay. Stay discomfort, transforms. Run, frozen keeps. Presence ice, melts. Spiritual desire, even rejection. Form, want kind, calm, wise. All time but not who. Passing states useful arise. Grasp not. Try spiritual instead, present. Still become, chase, cling. Teachings non-attachment reiterate. Let go not things ideas. Let go self-story think should. Let go ideal version. Let go whole goal. Already whole even confusion. Mess, fear. Wholeness no perfection inclusion. Experience full circle, compassion held. Deepest healing, fix, nothing left, love only give remain. So next time need change here, pause, listen, breathe, ask love. This too can, if no, okay, meet no kindness. That too path part. Acceptance, no destination practice. Over, breath, breath. Learn, stay, feel, trust, stop, get somewhere. Stop measure progress. Stop life checklist, use. Live fully, gently, presently. Presence becomes home, not arrive place, rest place, always available, enough, free. When fixed weight lifts, self-rejection space once live, opens unexpected rise. Heaviness not strive deeper, not improve pressure, but alive, even too much feel. Guilt, no clear cause, own needs, suspicion, okay. Feel right, doubt, no laziness, discipline, lack pain years, silence stored, trauma unseen. Deep self-judgment carry many, not fail healing wounds carry before words formed. Wounds, no one event slowly shape time through repeated safety missing moments. Presence inconsistent, love conditions, emotions room too big, boundaries blurred, ignored. Developmental trauma, visible not always outside, woven deeply nervous system. Effects, own mind relate way, trust inner world instead, monitor, home feel inside instead, high alert remain, body braces, breath shortens, heart wrong anticipates. Suffer, want not, prepare, learned, preparation habit, constant self-scan. Say what, too much, wrong do. Thoughts no, just mind, habits, symptoms, nervous system still prevent already happened, still avoid shamed, left, punished, misunderstood. Pain developmental trauma, no, just happened, meaning created around. Silent beliefs this caused, better known should, enough not was. Beliefs body live, stronger grow each repeat, no question. Each inner voice sensitive to, or over this now by should, wound old reinforces. Buddhism dependent origination, nothing own arise. Effect every cause, pattern every history. Judgment now, no random roots. Roots often needs no care met moments. Tears inconvenient, joy loud too. Quietness misread, told words. Silence wrong simply being. Why self-judgment logical feel early taught no cruelty, normal felt. Body no forget long moment after past. Tension remains, learn emotions shrink. Relationships small stay, love earn effort through, rejection expect, even kindness offered. No self-hatred, self-protection, protection fear built, no never peace lead. Shift pattern, no start, new thoughts force, mind no convince till body heard. Trauma nervous system lives, healing there begin gentleness through. Down slow, discomfort stay, no push away. Compassionate most, recognize self-judgment, know who are, endured what. No born self-distrust learned way somewhere, learned, unlearned can, know through punishment, presence only. Presence say fear this sense makes, shame this reason has, reaction this, no wrong response pain, no safe enough feel fully, body safe truly feel, healing own begins, safety no force comes repeated, self be with new way moments. No demand, no fix, just witness, space hold anger, sadness, confusion, mindfulness, practice, no, avoid emotions, space, make them breathe, space, enough younger parts, welcome feel again, parts silenced, parts told much too, hear still, heard want, trauma, own tenderness, suspicious make, joy dangerous feel make, rest unsafe feel make, but body reteach experiences allowed, ease no earn, exist right no prove, happens slow, self-speak way, own pain sit way, hard moments self-abandon, stop, compassion act each, signal nervous system no longer need protect from self, teaching Buddhist, identity fixed, no, self-permanent, no hate, fix, process only, conditions arise, fall, pain transform, no force, cling stop, story defines, story much too, story unworthy, story constant better need, no truths survival strategies time another, safe kept, serve no longer, heal no escape stories, bow them to, listen, ask, protect me from what, me part abandoned felt, me part speak no get, inquiry no quick answered something open meant, self-relationship new, judgment replace understanding where, shame soften truth by, body holds memories, name cannot mind, memories no need, solve need felt, need included, no broken react because, no behind pain carry because, human with history, with reasons, honor reasons begin, stop fight own nervous system, stop feelings pathologize, start treat self-worth, protect not from life, but belief wrong how life shaped you, shift no dramatic quiet, breath take before react, pause between trigger story, softness offer hard moment after, no small things rewiring they, undoing years fear they, mind may still doubt whisper, old thoughts may still arise, but no longer final word give them, meet them presence with, meet them care with, say yes, pain this real, and also I more than pain this, more you stay, more you trust, more body rest begin, that rest, self-judgment grip loses, because no longer anything defend against, you here and you enough, even with pain, with scars, especially with truth, what carried you've, no weakness, this strength your, survived you, now, get live differently, you, no avoiding past, but relating it to with eyes new, breath new, kindness new, no because easy it's, but because true it's, because beneath trauma, always whole being has. Now that wholeness gets seen without judgment, without shame, without need be fixed, just as you are. Once meeting pain, gentleness begin, own reactions fear softens, quieter layer emerge starts. No loud thoughts with come, no demand attention, underneath tension buried, in stillness lives. Feeling done something wrong, even when haven't, joy discomfort with, well things when settles heaviness. No just anxiety this guilt, no clear beginning has, and behind it, grief is. Grief never, space had felt be too, grief hidden had be too, silenced, or turned something else into. When grief not allowed move through body, disappear not does, form changes it, lingers background in, slowly transforming self-blame into. Start wonder if handled differently supposed were you, if missed something you, if fault your, it still hurts it. This confusion cycle creates, sadness returns, and instead recognize what is for it, believe failure, sign its, start apologize emotions for your, start feel guilty still affected being for, how unresolved grief turns lifelong guilt loop into this is. Buddhist understanding, pain wrong not, sadness weakness not, natural responses change to, loss to, impermanence to they are. But many early experiences in sadness presence not met with, discomfort with met, dismissal with, pressure on move to. Happens enough times this when mind learns grief, unacceptable is, feel deeply burdened be to is, mourn too much be to is, adapts it, hides sadness the forces composure it, time over, forgets anything lost was at all it. But body remembers, body always remembers, unprocessed grief, stored gets nervous system in, perception colors it, energy affects it, relate how you yourself to influences it, might find, truncated as per word count guidance, but expanded fully in response, developmental trauma and chronic self-monitoring. The insidious effects of developmental trauma often manifest as chronic self-monitoring, where the nervous system, shaped by early unmet needs and conditional safety, turns inward vigilance into a habitual defense against perceived threats of rejection and shame. As the transcript poignantly describes, many who bear deep self-judgment aren't failing at healing. They carry wounds formed before language, through repeated instances where safety was absent, presence erratic, love contingent, emotions overwhelming for the environment, and boundaries obscured or dismissed. This developmental trauma isn't always overt or tied to singular events, but accrues gradually, embedding deeply in the nervous system and altering how one relates to their inner world. Instead of trusting thoughts and feelings, one monitors them relentlessly. Instead of feeling at home within, one remains perpetually on high alert. The body braces instinctively, breath shortens, heart braces for mishap, not from a desire to suffer, but from learned preparation to avert past pains. This preparation evolves into a compulsive habit, constant self-scanning. What did I say? Was that too much? Did I do something wrong? These aren't mere mental quirks, but symptoms of a nervous system still striving to preempt what once occurred, being shamed, abandoned, punished, or misunderstood. The pain of developmental trauma extends beyond what transpired. It encompasses the meanings forged around it, silent convictions like I caused this, I should have known better, I wasn't enough. These beliefs reside in the body, intensifying with each unchallenged repetition. Each time the inner voice murmurs, "You're too sensitive," or "You should be over this by now," the old wound is reaffirmed, perpetuating the cycle of judgment. In Buddhist understanding, dependent origination illuminates that nothing arises autonomously, every effect traces to a cause, every pattern to a history. The self-judgment experienced now isn't arbitrary. Its roots lie in moments when needs weren't met with care, tears deemed inconvenient, joy too boisterous, quietness misinterpreted, or being implicitly told through words or silence that simply being was wrong. This is why self-judgment feels so rational. It was instilled early, not as overt cruelty, but as normalized behavior, and the body doesn't forget long after the moments pass. Tension lingers as a residue. Individuals learn to constrict emotions, remain diminutive in relationships, earn affection through exertion, and anticipate rejection even in kindness's presence. This isn't self-loathing but self-preservation, yet protection erected on fear can never yield peace. To shift from this entrenched pattern, one cannot commence by imposing new thoughts. The mind cannot be persuaded until the body is acknowledged. Trauma inhabits the nervous system, so healing must originate there through gentleness, deceleration, and abiding with discomfort, sans repulsion. One of the most compassionate acts is realizing that self-judgment isn't intrinsic to who you are, but a response to what you endured. You weren't born distrusting yourself. That was acquired along the way. If learned, it can be unlearned, not via punishment, but presence. Presence affirms, this fear makes sense. This shame has a reason. This reaction isn't wrong. It's a response to pain that was never safe to feel fully. When the body senses true safety, healing unfolds organically. But safety isn't coerced. It arises from reiterated moments of being with oneself anew, not demanding, not amending, just witnessing and holding space for anger, sadness, confusion. Mindfulness practice doesn't evade these emotions, but creates room for them to respire, sufficient space for younger selves to feel welcomed once more. The parts silenced, the parts labeled too much. They persist, yearning to be heard. Trauma renders one's own tenderness suspect. Joy feels hazardous, rest unsafe. Yet, you can reteach the body that these are permissible, that ease needn't be earned, existence is right, needn't be proven. This transpires gradually. In how you address yourself, sit with your pain, cease self-abandonment in arduous moments. Each compassionate gesture signals to the nervous system that self-protection from oneself is obsolete. Buddhist teachings reinforce, no fixed identity exists, no enduring self to despise or repair, only process, conditions arising and falling. Pain transforms not through coercion, but by ceasing to cling to defining stories. Too much, unworthy, needs constant betterment. These aren't verities but survival tactics from another era they safeguarded, but serve no longer. Healing involves not fleeing these narratives, but bowing to them, listening, inquiring, what are you shielding me from? Which part felt forsaken? Which part couldn't speak? This inquiry isn't for swift resolution, but to inaugurate a novel self-relationship. Understanding supplants, judgment, truth, tempers, shame. The body harbors memories the mind can't articulate, but those don't require solving, only feeling. Inclusion. You aren't broken for reacting, nor lagging for bearing pain. You're human, with history, with reasons. Honoring those reasons halts the internal battle. Cease combating your nervous system. Cease pathologizing feelings. Commence treating yourself as worthy of safeguarding, not from life, but from the notion that you're wrong for how life molded you. This transition is subdued, not theatrical, a breath preceding reaction, a hiatus between trigger and tail, tenderness post, hardship. These aren't trivial, they're rewiring, unraveling fears years. The mind may yet murmur doubt, old thoughts resurface, but grant them no ultimate authority. Encounter them with presence, with care. Yes, this pain is real, and I am more than this pain. The more you abide, the more trust accrues. The more trust, the more the body rests. In that repose, self-judgment relinquishes grip, for nothing remains to defend against. You are here, sufficient even with pain, scars, particularly with the truth of what you've borne. This isn't frailty, it's fortitude. You endured, now you claim a different existence, not evading the past, but engaging it with fresh vision, fresh breath, fresh benevolence. Not because it's effortless, but because it's authentic. For beneath the trauma, wholeness has ever been. Now that wholeness emerges, sans judgment, sans shame, sans fix. Need just as you are. As pain meets gentleness and reaction fear eases, a subtler stratum surfaces. Not clamorous thoughts demanding heed, but buried beneath tension in quiescence. A sense of wrongdoing sans cause. Joy, unease, wellness, heaviness. Beyond anxiety, guilt, sans origin. Behind, grief, unfelt space lacked. Grief hidden, silenced, else turned. Grief unallowed, body through move, disappears, not form alters, background lingers, self-blame slowly morphs. Wonder handled different if, miss if, fault if hurts still. Confusion cycle births, sadness recurs, recognize not what for, failure sign believe. Apologize, emotions start. Guilty feel affected still. Unresolved grief, guilt, loop lifelong turns how? Buddhist. Pain no wrong. Sadness no weakness, responses natural change, loss, impermanence. But early many. Sadness, presence no met. Discomfort, dismissal, pressure, on move, met. Enough happens. Mind learns, unacceptable grief. Deeply feel burden, mourn much too. Adapts, hides sadness, composure forces. Time over forgets, lost anything. Body remembers always. Unprocessed grief, nervous stored. Perception colors, energy effects, self-relate influences. Might find yourself unresolved, grief transforming into guilt loops. Unresolved grief, when denied the space to flow naturally through the body and mind, often metamorphoses into persistent guilt loops, where sadness re-emerges not as mourned loss but as self-blame, perpetuating a cycle of judgment that feels like personal failure rather than a natural human response to impermanence. As the transcript illustrates, once compassion begins to meet pain and the fear of reactions softens, a quieter layer surfaces, not loud demands, but buried beneath tension in stillness. The feeling of having done wrong even without cause, discomfort with joy, a heaviness when things go well. This transcends mere anxiety. It's guilt without clear origin, and behind it lies grief, grief lacking room to be felt, hidden, silenced, or transmuted into something else. When grief isn't permitted to move through the body, it doesn't vanish, it alters form, lingering in the background, gradually becoming self-blame. You start questioning if you should have handled it differently, if you missed something, if it's your fault it still hurts. This confusion spawns a cycle. Sadness returns, but instead of recognizing it, you deem it a failure sign, apologizing for emotions, feeling guilty for remaining affected. Thus, unresolved grief evolves into a lifelong guilt loop. In Buddhist understanding, pain isn't wrong, sadness isn't weakness. They are natural reactions to change, loss, impermanence. But in many early experiences, sadness meets not presence but discomfort, dismissal, pressure to proceed. When this recurs, the mind learns grief is unacceptable, deep feeling a burden, mourning too much. It adapts, conceals sadness, enforces composure, eventually forgets loss occurred. Yet the body remembers always. Unprocessed grief stores in the nervous system, coloring perception, affecting energy, influencing self-relation. You might notice it in subtle ways. Walking away from conversations feeling heavy, or a tightness when recalling past events without knowing why. The transcript notes this transformation grief into blame, where the mind turns inward, wondering about alternate handling, missed cues, personal fault for lingering hurt. This loop intensifies because grief, unacknowledged, doesn't resolve. It festers, manifesting as guilt that attaches to unrelated moments. Joy feels undeserved. Rest provokes unease. Success shadowed by "but what if?" Buddhist teachings emphasize impermanence as a core truth. Everything arises and passes, but when grief is bypassed, we cling to the pain story, mistaking it for a fixed self-flaw. The Dharma invites meeting grief with mindfulness, not to romanticize or condemn, but to hold it tenderly, allowing its natural flow. Suppression doubles suffering, presence dissolves it. When grief surfaces as guilt, pause and name it. Grief is here, disguised as blame. This acknowledgement pierces the illusion, revealing the emotion's root in loss, not inadequacy. The origins often traced to childhood, where expressions of sorrow were inconvenient or overwhelming for caregivers, leading to messages like "don't cry," "move on," or silence that implied feeling deeply was wrong. Over time, this conditions the belief that grief must be quick, contained, or absent to maintain connection. Adulthood inherits this. Losses, relationships, opportunities, identities aren't fully mourned, but intellectualized or spiritualized away, only to resurface as self-judgment. The transcript highlights how this unresolved energy colors daily life. A vague heaviness, unexplained guilt, joy, suspicion. To break the loop, return to the body, the repository of unprocessed emotion. Feel where grief lodges, chest tightness, throat lump, belly weight. Breathe into it sans story, allowing sensation to arise and pass. Mindfulness here isn't analysis, but allowance. This sadness is impermanent. It needs space, not suppression. Compassion is key. Recognize that guilt loops aren't moral failings, but protective adaptations, the mind shielding from grief's full weight by turning it inward. Buddha taught the second noble truth, suffering from craving and attachment, including attaching blame to avoid feeling loss's rawness. Releasing this attachment involves gentle inquiry. What loss am I not allowing? What part fears fully grieving? Answers may not come immediately, but the asking softens the loop. Practices like loving kindness meditation extend metta to grieving parts. May this sadness be held kindly. Over time, guilt lessens as grief is honored, transforming from blame to understanding loss as part of life's flow, not personal defect. The transcript warns that ignoring this leads to chronic patterns, emotions pathologized, joy sabotaged, rest guilt-ridden, but meeting it disrupts. Allow tears sans apology, anger sans shame, stillness sans justification. This inclusion ends the division, self no longer split into acceptable and burdensome. Freedom emerges not from eradicating grief, but integrating it. As cycles break, presence deepens. Moments once triggering guilt become opportunities for tenderness. You learn grief doesn't define but teaches impermanence's beauty, holding loss lightly, allowing it to pass. In this, self-judgment fades, wholeness returns, not as absence of pain, but embrace of all. Yet, Even as grief loops unravel, another avoidance trap lurks. The energetic imprints in the body, where judgment's residue lives not in thoughts but physical sensations, requiring tenderness to release rather than force. The body holds judgment's history, tightened shoulders from criticism, shallow breath from fear, gut knots from shame. These aren't random, they're survival echoes, bracing against old wounds. Buddhist practice views the body as mindfulness, gateway sensations, as truth-tellers, unlying. To heal, attend these imprints. Notice clench, numbness, unfelt areas. Then choose presence over pressure, rest over reaction. This bodywork reveals judgment's depth, not just mental but somatic, where fear stored manifests as chronic tension. Awareness brings release, deep sighs, soft tears, muscle loosening signs of safety returning. Practice regularly, not crisis only. Check-ins, asking, clenching where, numb where, not feeling what. Build trust. Body compassion expects, not control. It prefers warmth. Heart opens easier, unmonitored. These shifts rewire. Judgment no longer defaults. Self-relation. As imprints soften, see roots clearer. Tension not yours echoes parents' tone, teachers' expectation, culture's demand. Shoulders rise defending non-existent voice. Say, carry this no more. Release, unhooks past. Body old pain reacts, offer new response. Breath, heart, hand, here, return. Underneath judgment, sadness, fear, longing, often not problems, felt, waiting parts, now welcomed. Welcome true healing, pain, presence, love, not critic, silence but breath, steadiness through noise, not posture, perfection but effort, softening, time over, body freedom moves, fear not. Alive own skin, no battle blessing. Not everything easy because nothing inside pushed away. No, because wholeness, deeper peace find. Not all once, but slowly, kindly, as meet self again, again, again. When body soften begins, nervous system release safe, believe else surfaces often. Not fear, pain even, but impatience. Feeling, healing, process. Slow unwinding over now should, already further along should. Not still triggered, tired, afraid, unsure should. Quiet, constant sense behind. Even healing fails somehow. Stuck many, not wound in, but judgment how long mend takes. Healing task, race, progress measure, turn. Ashamed after work, meditation, reflection all. Still struggle, forget, react, shame, deeper original pain feel can. Now not just hurting, believe shouldn't, belief challenged rarely, growth language hides. Better do trying just, there get can know I, harder work little if, free finally. But underneath, same rejection pattern, same pressure, same voice acceptable, only arrived when say, Buddhist, any outcome cling, even healing suffering creates. Feel better want natural, but demand healing timeline, method, success narrative fit tension, another layer, pulls present away, judgment back into, believe no push if, nothing change, but true healing no forced allowed, unfolds ground ready when, ego impatient know when, flower look when, ask not why blooming no faster, Understand opens conditions right when blame no petals slow for, but own emotional unfolding too comes when rush, pressure, scold, self-natural pace integration make performance failure into impatience, fear often from, pain never end that, struggle broken mean that, around people, forward move while stuck still you. But fears no truth-based comparison, expectation, idea peace, certain way look, happen, certain time frame must, calling stagnation what actually pause may, labeling failure what deeper integration may. Profound shifts happen quietly, slowly surface under, impressive no look, looked like rest, silence, moments, nothing do except breathe what used, break you through. Forgiveness, medicine, this impatience for, no fixed pace healing, but dissolves war within it. Forgiveness say, process in be allowed, I'm rush no need, justify where am no need, spiritual milestone, some reach no need, deserve peace to, forgive self fully healed, no for, stop turn wounds moral failures into, stop see triggers inadequacy proof as, stop need perform enlightenment, instead meet self-truth with, acknowledge still carry pain where not defeat sign, honesty sign. Honesty brings relief because pretend further along more, energy spend more illusion, hold up, but drop illusion when, say yes still learning, everything softens pressure lifts, breath deepens, heart opens, Buddhism no ask healed be, ask aware be, stay, witness, that path, that discipline, not abandon self-old wounds rise when again, sit them with no label regression as, no regression only returning again, returns those in, something changes, notice subtle ways grown have you, reactions now pause before feeding you, boundaries allowed hold, didn't know you, moments speak more clarity, care, compassion with you, no dramatic these foundational, but looking only grand progress signs if, miss them you, healing no performance applause no require, same no look each day, includes days tired your when, cry unexpectedly when you, forget everything thought learned you when, moments no setbacks process part, show love still needed where your self-aggression during healing often belief pain wrong from comes, but Buddhist path, pain life part, no punishment as, teacher as, stop resist presence it's, begin learn what show came it, no, all pain solved meant some, understood, included, held meant, held tenderness with when, changes it, softens it, sometimes slowly, suddenly sometimes, but always way leaves more whole before the new. Forgiveness also includes forgive strategies your ways coped before better knew you, ways numbed, distracted, overworked, isolated, avoided you, choices, no mistakes needed, survive what, forgiveness say, see why did that I, thank trying, protect me you, ready do differently now I'm, compassion this integration brings, parts felt exiled start return, no longer attention fight for have they, seen, heard, welcomed they, welcome that in, healing deepens, no because arrived you've, but journey resist, stop because you've, still forget will you, still pain feel will you, still guard off court be will you, but forgiveness present when, turn on self, know these four. Respond, care with, patience with, simple truth, all beings process in that. No one ahead, behind no one. Path walked, step time one at, step each enough. Practice heart this, not reach perfect version, self your, but return presence each time. Leave it you, do so kindness with. Next time, think over this now by, should I? Pause, breathe, hand heart on place, say softly, okay, still here, be too, it's, let that enough be, because, is it, healing, seek you, no future, you who sit self with moment, this, in exactly, are as you, no timeline, punishment, pressure, just presence, breath, love, still here, still human, still worthy. Forgiveness settle body in begins as urgency completely healed be to gentler rhythm, presence way, gives to another structure reveal itself begins. No loud, chaotic, organized, disciplined, familiar. Order feels like but heavy undertone carries, constant evaluation sense, running commentary what done should have you, known better how should have you, still haven't done enough, why you? Shows up judge courtroom never closes like in, become both accused, accuser, and live under weight own internal prosecution your mental courtroom, no, always obvious, no, always shout, often speaks through subtle disapproval, impulse defend, self-conversations haven't happened yet in mental rehearsing explanation, your mistake even made haven't before. Guilt rises after boundary setting, even necessary was that, when quiet background pressure follows choices you're constantly asking sure if you're constantly pointing out better done could what have been. Inner prosecutor role this, many for suffering source most relentless, its role, often inherited, modeled, sometimes parent, teacher, authority, equated love, correction with by, sometimes culture shaped where morality worth confused performance behavior with, mind order protection, needing adopts, voice, this stay ahead, shame to as way, catch flaws first if you, maybe else no one will, stay trial, own mind in if you, avoid pain public exposure, maybe you. System this freedom, no creates, tension only creates, trains anticipate wrongness, even stillness in you, peace, dangerous feel makes, replaces ease analysis with, time over, believe, voice, this necessary becomes you, without it direction, all lose would you that, silence failure means that. Buddhist, practice this mindfulness, misunderstanding, true mindfulness, no surveillance. Presence it is, watches clarity not criticism with, sees causes effects but labels no you guilty human being for. Inner prosecutor, no mindfulness, fear disguised responsibility as. Role danger, mind own rest cannot place into turns your. Even kind when questions motives you're it, even succeed when reminds missed what you it, even relax try when says earned haven't you it, body tense remains so, breath shallow remains, heart guarded remains, transform inner courtroom begin, first recognize architecture must you. Notice building case against self when you are. Pay attention inner voice, tone your. Inquisitive or accusatory it is. ask, understand to, or assume wrong you're it. Distinction, subtle but essential. Then begin, question authority. Voice this. Not aggression with, but curiosity with. Taught who me mistake-making meant bad was I. Taught who me discomfort punishment required. Told who me love earned be had perfection through. Questions open structure these. Reveal conditions built it that. Visible once, change setting can you. Courtroom instead, create sanctuary. Space inside self that judges not, but holds. Space interrogated not where you, welcomed but. Fantasy know this awareness shift. Remembering you thoughts you're not are space which thoughts arise in you. Sanctuary this in, compassion judge the. Compassion sees story whole, sees pain, effort your, intentions, missteps your, fear, longing your, excuses no harm, but confuses no behavior identity with, recognizes complexity human being of. Old voice arises when, will it, and, meet tone different with. Say, see you, I, know why here, your I, but putting not self-trial today, on I'm. Redirect you, soften you, breathe you. Softening, no mean careless become, means honest become. Not constantly defend self when, space reflect truth with have you. Admit can harm caused when you've without collapse. Feel regret can without sentence into turn it. Grow can without shame, motivation your being. Time over. Body trust, new approach this begins. Nervous system braces no longer judgment for. Breath freely more moves. Muscles unclench. Feel safe. Own presence in you begin. Safety default becomes when that inner courtroom dissolves. Replaced inner refuge by. Means no mind evaluates never again. But evaluation punishment no longer becomes discernment. Clear seeing guides action that loud voice declares wrong you know that. Buddhism teaches liberation found suffering cessation in self-perfection no in. Internal courtroom sustains suffering keeping trapped belief must earn way out you in. But nothing earned to. Only return again present moment to, breath to, awareness judges not to. Awareness, sanctuary your, speaks no extremes in, divides no self-right wrong into, holds every part you stillness in, offers rest reward no, becomes louder each time choose, not attack self you. Live space this from begin, when you, world also changes, judge others less you, listen more you, become less reactive, grounded more you, hold space instead control it you, forgive instead correct you, because war within quiets has you, quiet that in, natural compassion returns your, how reclaim life you this is. Not silence prosecutor force with, but no longer believe voice its truth is, just voice it is. Free, choose different one, you, not later, now, because freedom wait no trial end for. Begins moment, step out courtroom you, into sanctuary, own heart, your, where no part you needs defended be, every part welcome known be to. Courtroom dissolves as, internal prosecutor voice quiet begins as, pause follows that, silence unfamiliar feels that opens, empty no, but open, no one guilt assigning, no one evidence asking, but openness that in, question rises quietly, clearly, no judgment if, no punishment, no more proving left due to what actually allowed feel you are, what truly allowed want you are, and more that than who gave permission you. Many for hesitation moment this is. No because, know how feel no they, but believe no yet allowed they are because. Judgment absence freedom automatic, no create, creates, space it, but space that filled be must something real with, something alive with, and something that self-permission is. Without it, self-judgment, silence becomes just another control form, quiet void, no movement with. Permission, not indulgence, not selfishness. Conscious, compassionate choice, allow what true you in exist, without performance, delay, waiting anyone else validate it. Buddhist practice, liberation heart this is. Not pleasure chase, but let go belief, full self earned be must. Many wait permission lives entire there. Wait, right time, rest to, right productivity amount. Joy justify to, right relationship seen feel to, right environment rage express to, right identity finally, yes pleasure to say to. Live quietly, cautiously, respectfully, contained within borders, what believe acceptable is they. Suffer confinement that in, often silently they, waiting this shame rooted. Shame teaches certain parts you dangerous, disruptive, unworthy belonging of are. Shame no loud may. Show as hesitation, politeness, chronic overthinking may it. But behind same fear, fully self-being, lead disconnection to will, messiness, anger, joy, slowness, make others turn away, will your. But what if none those parts problems were? What if vitality pieces waiting return they were? Reclaim self-permission begins awareness with, see where hesitate you, mute self where you, override instinct where you, means notice how quickly say, should you, genuine want feel when you, how often apologize before done anything even you, conditioned ask, okay this is when asking, should true this, me for is, self-permission, no thought, practice it is, happens body first in, live's breath says yes, mind say no, can before in, moment, anger rising feel choose not shrink you in, moment, nothing do want, let self rest without guilt you in, moment, joy feel, allow self feel, all it without pull back you in, moments, each rewrite something, no because dramatic there, but real there, because time every let self fully experience in, be you, dissolve little more conditioning, told wrong human be to it was you. Powerful forms, self-permission 1, give self-space messy feel to, not just emotionally, but show up how in, not polished be to, answers have not to, say wrong thing still loved be and, means learn, stay discomfort with without fix it, stop pretend growth graceful must be, means trust vulnerability, healing more than perfection ever will be, messiness, no immaturity, life looks like what when lived fully without need look good, permission layer another, allow anger not harm to, but clarify to, many turned anger shadow into, repress or inward turn, guilt as they, but anger, enemy no, anger clear form in signal A is, shows boundaries crossed where your values dishonored where your needs unmet gone where your denied when bitterness becomes it, welcomed when Transformation fuel becomes it. Permission feel, anger, give, doesn't mean act on it without thought. You means stop, exile it. You allow rise it, seen be it, teach it. Move through body without shame it let you. Speak it ready when it's boiling over when know it's. Changes how relate self to you this. Suppressing fire no longer you. Learning how tend it you. Joy also permission requires. Many comfortable more suffering with than joy with they are. Joy risky feels, loud feels, disappointment invitation feels like, and yet joy expression, natural most heart not crushed, judgment weight under of a, joy no need earned be, no need proportional success your too, saved better time for no need, live smallest things in can it, tea sip, window through sunlight, laughter, own sound your, but feel fully it too, believe deserve it you must, stop shrink it you must, stop apologize it for you must. Even laziness re-examined, reclaimed, be can. Call laziness what actually depletion may. Body rest asking, nervous system refuse, keep performing to. Signal needs slowness you, shame not. Give self permission still be to, non-productive be to. Radical world equates busyness, virtue within. Difference choice, ease and giving up between there. One wisdom from comes, other despair from. Self-permission tell difference how you. And then wildness there, recklessness no, but untamed aliveness. Part you approval no need move to that. Sings, dances, cries, laughs without scripted that. Art makes that strange. Love's unexpected ways in that, says no without justification that. Part this often buried conformity layers under, but gone no it's, waiting yes you're for it's. Wildness no chaos, truth without pretense. Rises stop try acceptable be when you. Buddhist teachings remind again. Again liberation found tight control in no, found let go, self-image constantly managed, need be that in, image that keeps contained you, but release grip when you, give permission, seek it instead you, step back, stream direct experience into you, stop think how be to you, start being you. Beingness, no passive, engaged it, says yes means yes, when it, says no clarity with it, feels responds and it, rests plays and it, listens speaks and it, mistakes makes grows and it, lives it. Living without apology, powerful healing forms most one is there. So next time hesitation rising, feel you, pause, ask waiting, who for am I? Approval who's still chasing am I? Do, would what I believed already allowed was I, if, then breathe. Breath carry answer your let, body lead let, heart speak let before mind edits your. Because permission knows something find you, something reclaim you, and do when you, every part you home returns. No because changed you, but stop asking world tell okay be self too, it's because. Remembered already is it. Live self-permission with begin when you. Quiet yes within stronger becomes than conditioned no. Something profound shift starts. Notice world differently begin you. Once external seemed what personal feel starts. Painful way, no. But revealing way, triggers you others in what mirror something deeper within, self your starts. Judgments once believed only about them were begin point inward, reflect something unspoken, unseen, asking understood, be too. No coincidence this mirror principle it is. Recognition how judge others often reveals how still judge self you. Mechanism subtle, overlook easy. One that's hear someone, confident speak with, feel irritated might you. See someone's space take up, feel uncomfortable might you. Witness someone's emotional vulnerability, silently label dramatic them as might you. Moments those in, seems reaction about them, your. But mindfulness with, trace discomfort back origin, true it's can you. Often lives inside you, not exact behavior, as but part self-rejected long ago as. Projection, no, choose, we something it, defense A is. Psyche overwhelmed when parts self feel unacceptable that by, pushes qualities those outward, look someone else carry them for. Happen can traits, emotions, desires even with. Learned have when certain parts you safe express no are, parts those disappear no. Simply relocate they. Begin see them others in react them as if foreign, even threatening. Judgment then becomes map A. Each judgment clue A. Reflection A. Reminder. Something within you not yet fully allowed been has. No mean every reaction false or behavior, no matter that intense emotionally charged judgments often carry personal meaning. Rarely about other person alone they. Invitation look inward they. Inward looking. No blame about curiosity about. Practice asking reaction this showing me what. Life where disowned this part. Self my have I. Learned how view this trait wrong. Dangerous as I. Questions no require immediate answers. Openings they. Pathways deeper understanding into. Example for, judge someone needy being for if, worth asking life where taught needing others made weak you. Judge arrogant being for someone if, ask life where punished confidence you're for being you. Feel resentment someone's success towards if, explore life where value sense own, tied comparison to being your. Reflections easy, no, but liberating they. Buddhist teachings, no fixed self. Perceive you mind, own shaped by what? World experience you filtered through landscape, inner own your. See someone clearly, without judgment when you, means meeting them without project story you're onto them you. But most time story still running, mirror still active, and until recognize you, remain caught unconscious reaction cycles in you. Recognize projection requires humility, means accept perception always clean know your. See what not always about present what, but about unresolved what. Humility this weakness no strength it, allows move through world more compassion with not just others for, self for. Because realize once judgment, others often reflection, internal conflict, your, stop, feed it, you. Stop react anger with start, respond inquiry with you. Stop harden, start soften you. Not enable harmful behavior to, but remove extra suffering comes carrying unhealed parts within you. From two, practice deepens as this. Way relate others transforms. People mirrors become, enemies know. Traits teachings become there. Difficult personalities even opportunities become, see what still triggers resistance inside you. No mean, accept all behavior you. Means stay present, reaction you're with use wisely it. Every time pause look inward instead, blame outward, reclaim energy you. Energy spent defending identity on, upholding version self, doesn't need feel certain things on, but reality in, feelings those already exist, hidden just there, and allow, seen be them, when you, something softens, war quiets, begin, forgive parts, self didn't know, still punishing you were you, messy parts, jealous parts, insecure parts, stop need project them you because learning hold them awareness with you, stop need others carry disown traits your because now strong enough carry them awareness with you. Inner inclusion creates external harmony because more whole feel you, less reactive are you, less demand perfection others from you. More space give them human, be too, flawed be too, process in be too just like you. Projection erased fully never can, mind always filtering, but practice with, seen through be can it. Met mindfulness with, be can it, become tool awakening for can it. Each time judgment arises, becomes doorway, a moment pause to, reflect to, ask reveals, what it, not about them, about you. Practice this daily, one glance, one breath, one triggered reaction time at, mind less reactive becomes, heart more open becomes, mirror clearer becomes, not reflect flaws your but help see wholeness your you too, remind you nothing inside you unworthy love of, and every judgment honesty met when, becomes path back home to self, to others, to freedom never outside you was. Mirror clear begins as project hidden shame, no stop others on to start, see own reflection, more truth with you, another shift possible becomes, no dramatic but steady, begin, notice something else, clarity, moments those in you, okay beneath judgment, and, not anger but tenderness, not blame but longing. Once felt rejection now feels call care for like, but care appear just know it practiced be has. Not grand acts, rare breakthroughs in, but tiniest moments day you're of. So small often go unnoticed they. Spaces where self-compassion built is these. Self-judgment habitual becomes not just past pain because, but repetition because. Tone, use self with you. Stories rehearse you. Reactions question, know, you. These form pathway nervous system in. Familiar self-criticism route becomes easier. Follow becomes time with. Even need think know, you. Becomes automatic it. Internal tightening, quick, A. Dismissal, A. Comparison silent, A. Wince hidden, A. Reverse pattern this. Need no overpower it, you. Need redirect gently at you. Frequently small, consistent moments teach body safe. Be kind to in. Shifts no conceptual they nervous system rewrites. Happen through micro moments, compassion, brief, real, repeatable points, contact between awareness, humanity, your, and. Moments can simple as pausing, catch self rushing when you, softening breath feel triggered when you, noticing tension, jaw you're in, relaxing without judgment. Replace idiot such I'm with hard, was that. No affirmations cover pain designed. They doorways back truth to. Truth, nervous system machine. No, that, needs gentleness, force, no. Truth way speak self to matters more. Taught, believe to be you've, than. Most people wait perfect time, practice compassion for. Think must come everything quiet when. room calm when, pain past when, but nowhere grows it, grows late tense, and when you're, forget important something when you, fall back habit thought, broken you'd when you, no failures these openings they, each invites response new a, micro moments passive, no require attention they, notice must you, catch impulse, self-correct to, scold to, tighten to, then choose, stay, second, longer, just, long enough, take breath a, long enough notice hurting where your end, long enough say difficult this is here I'm and, Buddhist teaching emphasizes importance mindfulness daily life in, not escape as but intimacy what real is with, compassion separate know this from, mindfulness warmth with it is, tension know that analyzes, fixes but simply stays, staying this new pathways builds nervous system in, time each choose softness over judgment, you, body learns safety, learns love, earned, be no has performance, perfection through, learns presence enough is, see may no effects right away you, but slowly small shifts add up begin, notice, pause more often, react before you, breath remains longer, belly you're in, thoughts feel less sharp, shoulders always no bracing, no just signs healing these trust signs they, trustability meets self without harm you're in, powerful micro moments one naming is, name what feel gently without add story, fear this is, tightness this is, wave shame of a this is, no dramatize but space make, because name experience when you, place it awareness in you, stop consumed it by be you, begin, hold it instead, held it by be of, train compassion, self-touch, through also can you, place hand chest on overwhelmed feel when you, let palm rest belly on anxious feel when your, gestures physical small but bypass intellectual resistance they, send signals calm straight nervous system to, say with you, I'm alone not your, weigh another practice, inner voice you're through, listen how speak self to forget something when you, disappoint self when you, struggling when you're, then change, tone the, tone just, even words same stay if, make warmer it, understanding more, would speak friend, child to like you, no pretending this returning part you already knows kind be how to that too, no have feel deserve compassion like you practice it too, practice itself teaches deserve you that you, time every choose care over critique you, weaken old pathways you, stop reinforce judgment you, start build resilience, not force through but gentleness through, gentleness, no make weak you grounded makes you, teaches stay discomfort with, conflict with, grief with, teaches feel deeply without overwhelmed become, shows love reward, no, is being where, transformative moments most come smallest ones often in, breath choose deepen heart racing when you're, tension let go collapse tempted when you're of, forgiveness offer self not graceful, as hoped you're when you, places where nervous system relearns safety, feels like what these, and time over, compassion default becomes, no because judgment disappears, but because no longer safe feel believe it to, body warmth prefers, heart opens easily more not monitored being when it practices small, these become language new, a rhythm new, a way new, being own experience with your, no fixing, no rushing, just allowing, and allowance that in healing becomes living, breathing reality. No goal, but relationship. One breath time at one choice time at one moment care middle everything in the how transformation happens. This is not leaps in, micro moments in, and each one matters. Every single one seed is, and seeds those watered awareness, tenderness with, and grow into something steady, beautiful, and not perfect, but real, and reality that in peace find you, not all once at, but slowly, kindly, as meet self again, and again you. Current language inner that shaped judgment first, place the, not always tone, emotion even, but structure words themselves, the way thoughts built are, hidden meanings behind phrases simple, automatic vocabulary learned use when describing self, your emotions, your value, your language becomes quiet, architect, inner world, you're of, and most time realize no trapping you, it's words use inside. Mind you're the ones speak aloud you, and create frame, see self through which you. Frame that then defines possible what believe you is, wrong what believe you is with you, think needs fixing what you. Way talk self to you, especially struggling when you're can either reinforce judgment or open door compassion too. But because language immediate so, constant so, normalized so, questioned rarely it's many self-critical patterns maintained not strong emotion by, but habitual language by. Phrases like, always mess things up, I, not type person gets righted, I'm, or know better now by should I, seem harmless first at. But each phrase reinforces fixed identity, a version you static, limited, error-defined becomes that. Internal grammar, this becomes cage a time over it. Buddhist philosophy, identity cling one root suffering of. No, because identity wrong itself, but belief, solid, unchanging self, creates conflict. Use language constantly defines self absolute terms in when you freeze, experience your stop, see self process as you start, see self problem as you frozen image that escape harder becomes because words your keep give life it. Break free language traps these from first step, noticing them is no just extreme when they're, but quiet casual when they're, mutter self under breath when you explain behavior others to when you reflect day you're on bed before when you places where judgment often hides inside phrases common, stupid so was I, typical me was that, never get right it I, statements may seem nothing like, but shape nervous system, sense safety belonging you're of. Awareness allows change for, begin, observe, language practice as your when you, create opportunity, shifted you, not forced positivity, fake affirmation through, but accurate compassionate reflection through. Replace, lazy, so am I with tired feeling today. I'm, replace enough, not I'm, with moment, this hard feels. Move absolute identity, present moment, honesty to, shift might feel small, but radical, it's because begins separate. Who are you from experience what you, separation that healing allows. When mind stops turn every struggle character flaw into, begins create space, truth for the truth case, this you, thoughts, emotions, past your not that, separation that creates freedom, Changing language involves also how speak self when things well go you. Self-judgment, no. Only negativity in show up. Shows up refusal, acknowledge efforts, you're in. Dismissing progress, you're in. Brushing off strength, you're in. Nothing was it. Lucky just got I. Big deal, no, wasn't it? Phrases these erode confidence, your. Deny nourishment, being seen even self by your you. So practice, claim growth, your. Not performance as, but honest statement as. Difficult was that handled it, and I. Proud how stayed grounded I'm. No. How do this before, didn't now do I. Phrases these rewire brain, recognize capability to. Acknowledge movement to. Internalize trust to. Buddhist mindfulness, right speech, foundational ethical practice. Includes how speak others to, but also self to how you. Right speech, no, just avoid harm about using words. Create clarity, kindness, truth about. Self-talk aligns right speech with when your. Becomes vehicle awakening for. Stops reinforce delusion, starts point toward reality. Reality, constantly changing you. Value no tied perfection to. Mistakes no definitions your. Language support truth that can or block it can. Choice begins. Every sentence think, speak, or you. Powerful way shift language, another questioning through. Hear judgmental phrase, arise when you. Pause. Ask true this is. Learned where speak self this way to I. Say this, someone love I, would I. Questions, interrupt automatic pattern these. Bring back awareness to you. Allow something new for they. Pause that in. Choose word different can you. Honest more one. Accurate more one. Reflects fullness. Experience your one. Not just hurting part, that is. Notice may also you language use mirrors voices passed from your. Maybe parents' criticism, teachers' tone, cultural message repeated, so often became yours, it. Recognize inner voice, original no, when your becomes easier question, release, rewrite to it. Rewriting no about perfection, about presence, about return. Again, vocabulary honors humanity. Your too. Leave space growth for that. Gives room breathe to you that. Practice more, you this. Natural more becomes it. Default language starts, change your. Instead, better be should I. Begin, say learning I'm. Instead, much too, I'm. Begin, say strong feelings. Have I matter they, and. Instead, failing, I'm. Begin, say finding way through something difficult I'm. Statements these no erase pain, but create safety within it they. Build foundation, trust of a. Remind body, mind and hold experience. Can you without collapse under it, you that. Separation, suffering that is. Language becomes medicine, how this, not slogans form in, but presence form in. No trying fix self-words with you, meeting self them with you, shaping inner world conscious expression through your. As world that softens, so does relationship self with your. Judgment turns understanding into, harshness gives way tenderness to. Fear loses grip its. Slowly words, your become home live, can you in. No because perfect, there, but true kind, yours and there. Language shift begins as your softening inner dialogue once reinforced. Shame, rigidity, and notice, start, may you deeper beneath words, the structure silently shaped beliefs, your time, your identity, your no always sound harsh, often sounds practical, responsible, admirable even. But trained, evaluate worth output through your you. Asks did what today you, accomplished what you, earned what you. Praises usefulness, your questions rest your. Speaks not heart you're from, but system never agreed, serve to you from. Voice inner capitalist, the this. Inner capitalist money only know about mindset A is. Lens equates productivity, morality with A. Measures success, visibility by. Treats body tool as your. Attention commodity as your. Value. Something proven over again, be must as your. Turns self-product into not living, breathing presence, but something polished, optimized, sold be to. Internalization, this rarely conscious, begins subtly, reinforced culture, school, work, family even by. Praised, busy, being for your. Admired working pain through for your. Told keep pushing to. Maximize time you're to. Make every moment count to. Messages these reward performance. Punish stillness and time over. Stop ask. Make sense. They, if you. Simply follow you. But Buddhist practice. Self-task. No. It resume. No. Role maintain be to. No. Unfolding process, awareness of it. Awareness measured productivity and cannot. Speed up deadlines for know it. Become more valuable monetized when know it. Live awareness from instead identity when you. Illusion, inner capitalist starts fall apart too. Yet, clings tightly often it. Questions worth rest when you're you. Calls lazy say no when you. Tells value, produce what in your you. Even body tired when. Mind echoes enough done, haven't I? Even heart needs care when your. Whispers more finish to theirs. Pressure this creates tension chronic. Not just physically, emotionally but. Feel guilty, slow down for you. Feel behind present when you're. Start believe healing efficient also must. Joy earned be must. Growth look like checklist must. But Dharma teaches freedom arrive efficiency through no. Arrives release through. Dismantle inner capitalist. Begin presence it's noticing by must you. Not just work life you're in, but inner life in. Wake up when you. First question mind asks what you're. Feel how do I or need. Do what today I. Rest when you. Enjoy it or negotiate it with you do. Do nothing when you. Stay present can or reach something feels more worthwhile for you. No, just habits these signs internalize systems. Systems reduce existence production to your. Ask. Be constantly visible, improving, useful you too. Reward burnout, punish softness that. But machine know you. Brand know you. Content know you. Being cycles with you. Depth with. Value cannot packaged be with. Reclaim truth this requires unlearning. Requires undo belief, rest, justified, be must your. Worth depends consistency on your. Slowness flaw, A is your. Happens slowly. Happens set boundaries prioritize well-being instead reputation, your when you. Happens stop apologize. Needs cannot met performance by having for you. Happens treat time sacred as your. Not because productive is it, but yours is it because. Begin, shift, measuring, witnessing to, proving being to from. Stop, evaluate every action, result it's by you. Stop, ask self. Meet quotas invisible to you. Stop, think healing project as your. Space that in, rediscover what means human be to you. Human be to enough be without earn it to is. Valuable be even invisible when. Lovable be even unproductive when. No beliefs these truths buried social conditioning layers under. Been have. Stop feed internal system says, keep up must you. When begin feel what's always underneath been you. Aliveness condition without. No easy this because inner capitalist try return to will. Speak moments quiet in will it. Question softness your will it. Urge. Monetize joy your two. Optimize relationships your two. Turn even spiritual practice performance into your two. But meet awareness with it can you. Presence with. Quiet voice says task. No am I with. Earn right exist. My no have I that. Worth my negotiation up for. No is that. Voice this loud. No. Fight know it. Simply stays it. Rests it. Breathes it. Listen more you. Old system power loses more thee. Begin feel what's real. Breath your. Senses your. Connection others to your. No because accomplished something you, but alive your because. Here your because. Awake your because. Presence this branded be cannot. Measured be cannot. Productive be need. No meaningful be too. Live truth this from more you. Compassion grows more. Self for. Others for. Stop evaluate own worth your when. Stop evaluate others you. Same way. Stop ask perform them too. Stop reward only visible the you. Begin honor quiet thee. Unseen thee. Simple presence being thee. Shift this in. Freedom there. Freedom built escape on no. Truth on. Freedom allows rest without guilt. You. Exist without comparison without you. Create without pressure without you. Love without expectation without you. How inner capitalist dismantled is this. No, through rejection, clarity through. Steady practice remembering never meant product be to you through. Meant person be to you. Presence a, process a. Living no prove value your two, but feel it fully, unconditionally, now. Grip inner capitalist loosens as measure worth tasks, roles, output through stop you as quiet space opens that. Unfamiliar but honest it. No charts track to, goals meet no to, scale place self upon no to. And yet something still resists. Question comes again, not improving, fixing, proving, achieving. If I'm, then what am I? Answer, though rarely aloud spoken, simple, radical, and enough you are. Not later, looks better when not, finished once it's, but now, here, as are you. Enoughness, mood, no, is grounded state. Self-recognition says, whole am I even process in. Missing nothing would make valid me that am I. Already permitted belong to am I. But world constantly trains, seek next, upgrade our bodies, status, healing, self-image of us in. This being kind feels subversive, like let go identity taught, cling to weave. Pressure improve, never ends own its on, reinvents constantly itself, even healing task becomes, even inner peace destination becomes. Culture around us sells illusion. If could just do little more you, learn more, meditate more, control more, finally arrive, would you? But arrival illusion is chasing future conditioned self-worth, for as when you, embracing enoughness, refusal participate, loop that in. No resignation is standards lowering, no decision relates self-dignity from instead, deficiency from is. Wisdom recognize growth still happens, but incomplete because you know is alive because you happens growth. Teachings, Buddhist, remind clinging root causes suffering one of. Craving better be to, someone else become to. Finally acceptable be transformation through to. Clinging future self keeps experiencing freedom right here us from. But let go need that, mean no stop evolving you, mean stop punish self-process in you. Enoughness, antidote, endless effort, becoming to the interrupts script, says always behind your, always less, always late. Replaces comparison contentment with. Teaches nervous system safe, feels stillness in. Achievement not just in. Safety that allows feel joy without reason. You, peace without plan. Rest without guilt. Practicing enoughness starts presence with. Enoughness felt future in cannot. Accessible now only. Begin anchor breath in. Know to fix it, but meet it too. Feel rhythm it's without try change too. Then notice stories arise what? Doing more be should I? Productive isn't this? Count doesn't this? Stories no problems, conditioned habits they. Gently acknowledge, return breath to, body to. Part already is that you too. Practice another. Witness daily tasks without grade them. Not everything do contribute goal to has you. Some things ordinary be can still valuable. And dishes washing, plant watering, silence sitting in. Actions no need optimized be these. Already complete being there in they. Just like you. Enoughness lives way, speak self also in. Language powerful. Instead say, feel better, once done this, I'll. Say moment this already enough is. Instead say need fix this part me of. Say part this me love worthy too is. Small shifts, train inner voice, stop chase, start witness to your. Find helpful may also create intentional pauses day throughout you. Long breaks, no, brief moments. Ask to trying earn, right, rest, now, my, am I? Answer, yes, if, meet kindness with it, then allow rest anyway. Pauses no lazy these liberation foundations. Time each rest without justification you. Reclaim peace own humanity. Your you. Mean no. Stop care change about this. Mean stop. Build identity around still needs work. What? Your you. Not unhealed part story. Your you are. Awareness holds it that you are. Not unfinished task list you are. Being breathes list begins before who you are. Separation purifies effort that. Actions less reactive more responsive become your. Give because want to you. Earns approval no because. Show up matters because it. Fear forgotten being no because. Care body feels good because you're for it. Believe not good enough until do you know because. Revolutionary part enoughness challenges everything taught value to you've. Asks, prioritize presence over productivity you too. Invites, treat self already sacred as you too. challenges, systems around you. Systems benefit, believe not enough, you when. Systems sell worth, appearance, status, speed through. Living enoughness does passive, no make you powerful, makes you, because no longer need prove value to you, free act truth from you. Energy no longer wasted performance on, becomes available connection for, creation for, service, rooted sincerity, rather fear than for. Way living this glamorous no, often unseen goes, but changes everything. Walk differently performing, not when you're. Speak clearly more, trying impress, not when you. Rest deeply waiting, deserve to, not when you. Enoughness changes, see others how also you. Stop need validate you them too, stop compare you. Start see worth intrinsic to there, make space process there for you. Stop compete, start relate you. Stop judge, start listen you. Shared recognition, all already enough, we builds community different kind. One people products nowhere, healing race nowhere, worth conditional no your, love reward no but given aware. Live way this courage requires, world still whisper need keep earning you that, quite there not your that, enoughness later, for is that. But practice remember later, know there is your, only this there, this moment, this breath, this being, and from being this, everything begins. No because fixing are you, but free are you. Enoughness, destination, no homecoming, own body to your own, truth to your life, always waiting, presence your for, perfection your no for, and time each remember that you, even moment for a already living revolution the you are, quiet, steady, unshakable, enough.